are kicking against this huge wind in the first quarter, so we'll see what happens.
Well, the game is about to get underway at Walker Park. It is the final round in the home and away season for Division 3, and these are two major players. The Mitcham Football Club, they host the Doncaster Football Club out here today. It is first taking on third. It's going to be a ripper, and Damien Watson to start off the first quarter.
So round 18 action from Walker Park. Huge game with ramifications in Division 3, particularly at the top end. It's Mitcham hosting Doncaster on a windy day here in Mitcham. And we are underway, set in motion. The umpire holds the ball aloft. The tap is won by Mitcham's ruckman there in Milder, and the ball goes to ground, and a plethora of players dive on top of it. We'll have a secondary bounce. Just a reminder, last time these two sides played in round 9, it was Doncaster prevailing by 15 points. Back underway, Milder won the tap, comes to ground level, picked up by Taylor. He paddles it to his advantage. Eventually it comes to his teammate in Whitnish, who sends a high ball. It's hoisted towards the goal square. It may clear the pack. It bounces on its end. Picked up around the corner, a snap there from Johnson. It goes high up in the air, and the mark has been paid. No, it hasn't. Eventually the kick comes out. Obviously a number of snaps, and it's rushed through for a behind by Doncaster's Shimmerbush, and a minor score. So Mitcham get the first of the game. They're one behind. Doncaster yet to score, 47 seconds in.
And that wicket, that wind is certainly an advantage, because that kick from the wind went right to the goal square, boys.
Carried over all players' heads, so Shimmerbush, the last line of defence. He knows what to do, still gets every bit of 60 metres. The kick goes out towards a half-back line. Little handball over the top there by Coleman. Couldn't find the teammate. The umpire will come in and bounce this one about 55 metres out from goals. We cross down boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care to Paul Mercedes as a free kick's been paid to the Tigers. We might just hold this one up there as the play's being pulled on. They got the handball away. Whitnish goes in. He tried to throw his head back to get a free kick. The kick goes forward now from Mitcham. Top of the goal square stuff. Who's going to be the player here? The umpire's come in and paid a free kick. This time it'll go the way of Doncaster, which gives us an opportunity to head back down to Paul thanks to Akira Urgent Care.
Yeah, a bit of a mismatch for the Mitcham side here, boys. Renato Nunziato on Steve Muller, so he's a big boy, Renato. He might not be able to keep up with him.
Well, the target was McGarnis. He got a little nudge by Cross, and the umpire saw it. So the caveman, Benny McGarnis, been in ripper's form all season, has the ball across the half-back line for the Doncaster Football Club. Fry provides a short lead. He takes the mark. Stephen saw even in a short pass the ball hold up in that breeze. So Fry swings around on the right boot, kicks it towards the Palakis direction. He had one bite at the fall of the ball. Holsteed Wild tried to come in. The umpire said, "Give it to me, boys. We're going to have a bounce right in front of us here on the broadcast position." Great crowd out here at Walker Park today. We played 2 minutes. It is one behind to the Mitcham side. They lead it by that very margin as the umpire throws the ball up. It comes out now. That was okay by Tucarelli. Bangs the ball on the boot inside forward 50. Bouncing football straight through the arms there of the Mitcham player as Shimmerbush links up nicely. Running out now there is Fry on the right boot, bangs it on his boot, kicks it up towards the half forward line towards the Muller direction. The ball just has to sit up for him. Palakis came in for support. Doncaster now inside forward 50 towards the Thompson direction. He may have nearly got a little nudge in the back. Johnson was on his hammer and the umpire has seen it. Carlson came in for wanting the advantage, but he knows that the big fella Nathan Thompson is probably a safer shot on goal, and he'll have a shot about 45 metres out for the first genuine chance of the afternoon.
Look, they'd be very happy, the Doncaster side, the way that they've been under a bit of pressure with that wind blowing down there into their defence, and they've run the ball out of defence very well on 2 or 3 occasions.
So Nathan Thompson has had a great year for Doncaster. He's kicked 50 goals. Comes in now from 45 metres distance, won't be a problem, and brings it back absolutely perfectly. The umpire did a lot of work there, but I'm pretty sure that's gone through for a 6-pointer. He makes his way back into the goal square and salutes as well. So Doncaster get the first goal on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, and it took them 3.5 minutes into the breeze as well. Nathan Thompson has one on the board. They lead at 1-6, Mitcham one behind. It's crossed down boundary side to the big man, Peter Baird.
It's interesting to see that Scott Homewood's identified Aaron Fiora as a potential run danger going through that Doncaster midfield. Applied a heavy tag. Cam Taylor will try and shut down the influence of Aaron Fiora through that midfield.
So Thompson with first blood for Doncaster. They get the first on the board. The umpire balls it up once again. Ball still in dispute. The hand pass comes from Hogel off to his teammate there at Searle, who sends a high ball inside the 50. It's a Provi kick. It falls out the back. Trying to run onto it there was Pignataro. He couldn't take it, but eventually gains it and kicks the goal. There's the quick reply for Mitcham. They move on to 1-1-7, and Doncaster are 1 goal straight 6 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. We're 4 minutes into this first term. That's a very good answer for the Mitcham Footy Club, Ray Baird.
Yeah, look, that's the answer that they needed. I just feel that they're delivering into the forward line. Although they're kicking with the wind, you can't just keep bombing the ball down there. They've got to lower their eyes a little bit and look for targets. But it was also interesting at the start of the game with Nathan Thompson. We were right, Daniel Johnson went to him, but Thompson got all the other forwards right out of the forward 50 area. He wants that area for himself to work in.
So I think we've got a blood rule with a player running off the ground. No doubt our Akira Urgent Care boundary riders will let us know what's happening there. I can't see a speck of blood, so intrigued to know why he's been sent off. So I think it's the big man Shimmerbush. Paul Mercedes, he's just run past you. What seems to be the issue, mate?
There's got a little bit of claret running down from behind the left ear there, so definitely a blood rule.
Doing a great job already, our boundary riders, thanks to Akira Urgent Care this morning. Any important stats that matter, thanks to Choose Tap, Braden Ingram?
Mitcham inside 50s 4-1. That's about it at the moment, but they've gone inside pretty quickly and hard.
Well, Melda got the knockdown ball right in that middle there. Taken to ground was Glossop pretty harshly, but the umpire said it was fair. So we'll have a restart in the true centre of Walker Reserve. The knock came from Ewan McKenzie, but the free kick also went to him as well for a little bit of holding of the arm. He won the knockout. He'll want to move this ball on quite quickly. As he does so now, the kick goes in towards the Thompson direction. He has to fly from over the back, but standing strong and taking a good mark in front for Mitcham. As they keep the ball quite moving along quite nicely there.
Penalty, I think. So Mitcham with the football, a long Provi kick inside the 50. Eventually bounces in front. It's well taken, and on the bounce, a snap around the corner was touched off the boot. Anarchis in defence for Doncaster, trying to relieve the tension. Kicks it towards the half-back flank, running through. The Sharks could just work it out and formulate a plan. He kicks it towards centre wing, and the mark is pulled into the 1 met by McNamara. So McNamara in front of the Mitcham faithful on centre wing, grandstand side of the ground, wheels onto that right foot, kicks it towards half forward. Thompson's on a lead, but the ball holds up in the breeze and it's chopped off. So Mitcham with a series of hand passes that came from Whitnish, tried to look for his teammate there in Nunziato. He couldn't take it. Eventually it's turned over. The kick by Muller inside the 50 was chopped off. A ball is hoisted high towards the boundary line and it's gone out of bounds on the full. So Doncaster will be the recipient of the free kick, and it's going the way, by the looks of it, to Carlson. No, it's going to McNamara, and he can send the Sharks into attack.
So McNamara should have taken that one, Peter Baird. As the kick goes in towards the Thompson direction, the fly goes over the back. Palakis is there as well. At the fall of the ball, Mitcham might have the numbers here. They might just get it out of the danger zone too. The kick goes bouncing up towards the half-forward line. Faulkner will be the first one to meet it. The ball just needs to sit up nicely for him. Chopping in there was Coleman to lay some pressure. He might have copped one a little bit too high, and he did very well. He gained a lot of meterage to get over to that ball. It did Nick Coleman, and he won the free kick. So Doncaster almost on the wing position. Kick it up towards the half-forward line. Just that ball just keeps continuously holding up in the breeze, and players have got to play in front if they're going to be leading from the half-forward line. So Mitcham now in the middle of the ground. The mark has been taken there by Batchelor. Drives the ball inside forward 50. It was a good kick too, but at the fall of the ball, McGarnis is going to go in there. He received the handball from Fry. You have to get in there for some more support. Oh, who's going to get this one out? Lumachese might come in. In there is Palakis as well, in C. Cavalis. Chopping in there nicely. There is Cross on the left boot. Swings around and he hits the post. Unbelievable play there by Mitcham. It's a fast footy. The wind is playing a lot of havoc for all players in every flight of the ball, and a minor score to the Mitcham Football Club. And on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, they lead it by 2 points. 8 plays 6 at the 8-minute mark of the first term. EFL Game Day, Damien Watson.
It's been a free-flowing encounter thus far. As Doncaster prepare to bring it back into play.
No.
The chip pass, oh, it's choked off, and the numbers will prevail here. Pignataro gives off the hand pass, an open goal. That was a Roddy Biggs if you've ever seen one, and it's Chris Hogle running into the open goal, but a great chop off by the Mitcham forward line. They applied the pressure, Ray Baird.
Yeah, look, that was great pressure there by the Mitcham side. It was the kick hit the man on the mark, and it certainly let Mitcham into it. But look, I've been impressed by the pressure that the Doncaster side's applying on the ball carrier. I think Andrew Tranquilli would be very happy. They're kicking against this strong wind, but they are certainly putting a lot of pressure on the Mitcham midfield.
8.5 minutes gone in the first term. You'd expect Mitcham, after Paul Mercedes' rating of a 4 to 5 goal breeze, they need to put a couple more goals on the board, but we've only gone a third of the way through the first term. But I agree with you, Ray. The pressure from Doncaster is terrific so far in this first term. The ball's back finally in the middle. Mackenzie started in the ruck today for Doncaster. Jarve sitting on the bench, but he'll come in when needed. The ruck was won that time by Melder, but it was won by Doncaster. The kick goes inside forward 50 over the top of Muller's head. Thompson has to get down low. He puts his body on the line, did okay. The ball scoots out. It goes in towards the direction of Andreetta. He got the handball backwards. That was okay. Holstein Wild on the left boot finds a man out wide. They might be able to link up here. The umpire said play on. They do okay on the left boot up towards the half forward line. Bouncing football will go over the boundary line and out of bounds, intended for Turcarelli. We'll have a boundary throw in about 65 metres out from the Mitcham end. In fact, it's gone out of bounds on the full.
That wind has carried it immensely, hasn't it?
It certainly has. So Braden Ingram's got some stats thanks to Choose Tap.
Doncaster 7 free kicks for Mitcham, only 1. Been a bit ill-disciplined so far, Mitcham.
So Mackenzie with the football on the outer wing for the Sharks. His kick was, well, in disarray really. He missed his target by a long shot, went over the head, and Mitcham now have the turnover. It spears it towards half forward. The bounce falls out the back. It couldn't quite trap it there, Ben Morris, but he has some help, but Doncaster numbers are too much. The hand pass came there from Fry off to Shibblebush, and eventually the Sharks work it out. Anarchis takes the mark on the outer wing. He chips the pass. Numbers are streaming forward here for the Sharks. The hand pass comes to Fry, who kept running. His kick was smothered. Eventually he tries to regain it. He's well trapped there by Andreetta, who applied the tackle, and the free kick is going to that player. And Mitcham once again running on the outer wing. To the chagrin of Ben Warren Smith, Whitnish sends a long ball inside the 50. At the back, Pignataro couldn't quite take the mark. And eventually it's going to be a free kick for a high tackle. It's going Doncaster's way, deep in their defensive 45.
So they'll use the grandstand side, you would expect here. The kick will go out towards the Sea Cavallis direction. He had to stand strong, and he did too. He got a nice little nudge by the captain, James Quilty from Mitcham, but stood strong and took the mark. Kicked it up towards the Muller direction. He's presented well. Finally, one was kicked well to him. So almost true centre wing position. He'd normally like to be around the centre half forward line. So Muller goes up towards the Thompson direction, 50 metres out from goal. Ball fisted away from him. Dippy Domenico got a little scrambly kick away. Quilty balks one, then got a scrambly kick away himself, which was half smothered. Doncaster might have the numbers in. Quilty goes in there again. So too does Cross. Hard football here. Scoots out nearly now to Julian Petrarca, who has a player running out wide in Whitnish on the left boot. Slams the ball long. Slams the ball very long. That is an absolute fantastic goal there by Jared Whitnish from almost the middle of Walker Reserve. What a fantastic goal that was.
Look, that was fantastic play by Mitcham. It's the sort of play I've been telling you guys about all year. They ran the ball from the half-back line there, hand pass, kick it to Whitnish, and he's just slotted one from the centre square right over the top of the head of the two guys in the goal square. Typical Mitcham play.
Let's cross down boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care to Paul Samasides.
Yeah, boys, the big man with the dreadlocks, Mark Emerson, has come on for his first run. They're back at ruckman for Mitcham.
Mackenzie won the tap down. Running onto the football there for Doncaster was Lou Machisi. He couldn't quite trap it. He's got help at his teammate in the Narcus, who pirouettes his way out of trouble. Gives the hand pass on to Shibblebush. A long ball looking for Thompson. He's out of the play. Running onto it was Maguire. He couldn't quite trap it. He regains it with the hand pass. Gives it into space. Thompson off the ground. And the umpire has intervened. He's paying the free kick. And it's going the way of Mitcham, and it looks as if the recipient will be the Tigers captain and James Quilty on the last line of defence.
So Quilty goes short now. It's a good option too. Mitcham will have the numbers running right through the middle here. Geez, you look at that breeze and it works out very nicely for them. The kick goes inside forward 50, bouncing football. There might have been a little bit of holding there. The umpire said it was fair. Eventually, advantage might be paid here, or a free kick's been paid against Turcarelli. They were very stiff there, the Mitcham Football Club. Benny McGarnis will be the recipient. About 10 metres out from the last line of defence for the Doncaster side. He's really trying to kick it to that grandstand side. He goes for that option now. Aaron Fiora will be the player there. Dippy Domenico was in the front spot, couldn't quite hold in the mark. The umpire will come in and bounce it. Only 55 metres out from the Mitcham goals. Played 13.5 minutes. Braden Ingram, thanks to Choose Tap.
Mitcham 9 inside 50s have scored on 5 occasions, and all 5 scores have come in general play rather than set shots.
Well, from the knockdown, it came into the arms of Cross, but he couldn't quite scramble it. Quilty now snaps it around the body, kicks it to the top of the goal square or nearabouts. They'll have the numbers of the fall. The ball here. Hogle, he's a clever player, but he slammed it into the post, and a minor score again to the Mitcham Football Club. That's their second poster already in this first term, and we've only gone 13.5 minutes, but it's a 15-point margin to the home side. 3-3-21 plays one straight 6.
Look, although they kicked 3 goals free, I'm just getting the feeling that maybe they're wasting some opportunities because their inside 50s have been very good.
Schimmelbusch to bring the back into play for Doncaster. He goes long towards the outer side. Again, that ball holding up in the breeze, and taking the mark for Mitcham is Whitnish, who wheel around on that right foot, kicks it inside 50, into the path of Morris. He couldn't quite trap it. Doncaster have the numbers at the fall of the ball. A good tackle is applied for Mitcham, and they'll lock it inside their 45 for a ball up. So an interesting start to this game. Mitcham capitalising on that breeze, but as Ray Baird mentioned, their accuracy hasn't been up to par. Eventually the tap is won for Doncaster. The kick is hacked out of the pack, and a good mark is taken there by Lumachisi, who uses his run as well on the outer side of the ground. The bounce will favour DiPietro Medico, gives the hand pass off. The umpire's blown the whistle. It appeared to have gone out of play on the outer side of the ground here at Walker Park. Great atmosphere. Obviously, last home game of the season for Mitcham, so the crowd have turned out in force. So the ball back into play. The tap is won there for Mitcham by Emerson, who's come onto the ground. The ball is hoisted high towards the centre circle. Coming in from the side there was McNamara for Doncaster. He couldn't get a handle on it. Trying to evade the tackle for Mitcham was Buchanara, son of Gary. And the Mitcham players besieged, gang tackled, and will have a stalemate 70 metres around from the Doncaster goal.
Great game already. Fierce football, both these sides real big finals contenders, which only starts a week away, the Choose Tap final series. Jarvis has come on, he got the knockdown straight into the arms of Dipper, who knocked it back to Jarvis. He got wrapped up in a tackle, hits the deck. The big man will get up, hand it to the umpire, and we'll have it do it all again. Just inside the centre square out here at Walker Park. By throws it up now. Jarvis got the knockdown and went towards the Carlson direction. He couldn't quite trap it. Lumachisi's in there. Somehow Doncaster scramble a kick forward. Who's going to get there? Muller might be the first man. It bounced in front of him. Bit of a wrong in there. Batchelor goes over the ball, and we'll have a ball up about 45 metres out or 40 metres out from the Doncaster goal lines. Across down to Frosty Baird, thanks to Akira Urgent Care.
Andrew Tranquilli pulling the move, sending Ewan McKenzie back as a loose man in defence, replacing Mark Peduto.
Well, they nearly had a little bit of a run there, Doncaster, but Julian Petrarca on the left boot got it out of that danger zone. That was okay. Mitcham players scrambling through the middle of the ground if they can just hit up targets. Ball bouncing over the top here. Who's going to be the first one to meet it? McKenzie comes in for Doncaster, the big man. He put his body on the line. He might have actually hurt someone on the way through there. The short pass is on, and Marcus Fry presents himself in the middle of the ground. He's had a lot of the ball early, and he'll take the mark now. He has been good. He'll swing around on the right boot. They're going long when they have to against this breeze. Kick it up towards the Thompson direction. The ball will fall short, but coming in, chopping in from the side. Sia Cavallis takes a ripper mark. In fact, it was McKenzie who's travelled all the way down from the centre-half back line. He doesn't back himself here. Kicks it in towards the forward pocket. That was okay. But Quilty at the fall of the ball was intended for McNamara. Him on the left boot goes out wide. Bouncing football over the boundary line. She goes as it was intended for Anthony Faulkner. And we'll have a ball in far side out here at Walker Park. It is a 15-point margin with Mitcham leading it against Doncaster.
Look, I just feel that Doncaster, they're falling into the trap of their forwards and half forwards are playing from behind. When the wind's holding that ball up, they've got to play in front.
So the tap is one for Mitcham. They can go backwards to go forward. Swinging around the corner was Julian Petrarca, who kicks it towards half forward. Leading in the race for the ball there is Aaron Miller, and he'll see it over the boundary line, 70 metres around from the Tigers' goal. They've got a far more congested forward line compared to Doncaster, Ray.
Yeah, look, I think because Doncaster's dropped a couple of players back there, Damien, I think that's the reason.
Taking it out of the ruck for Doncaster was Greg Jarvis. He's been admirable all season. He kicks into the path of Carlson, but he can't quite gain possession before it reaches the boundary line. So it'll be a throw-in outer side of the ground. Fine attendance here at Walker Park. The sun valiantly trying to strike through the clouds. It's forecasted to be rain this afternoon, but it looks as if it might hold off. The ball goes back into play. Jarvis at ground level, can't quite trap it. Eventually he's besieged by a couple of Tigers. The umpire, well, you saw it. He had the whistle to the mouth and he's paid holding the ball, so it'll be a Mitcham free kick on the outer side of the ground. They've got a couple of numbers at half forward. The kick is hoisted long inside the 50, putting pressure on the Doncaster defence. The mark has been paid and it looks as if it's going to Ben Morris. So Morris, he was really the only one who stayed on the ground, but he ended up taking an uncontested mark, Ray Beard.
Yeah, look, what I'd like to see, though, when the ball goes forward for the Mitcham side there was a pack went for the ball, and as you said, Morris just stood his ground. But I would like to see those small forwards running past that, because with the wind blowing like that, the ball that's sometimes going to go over the back.
So Morris shooting for Mitcham's 4th goal of the game. He's 30 metres out, directly in front. Should have no trouble with this breeze. It set sails towards goal, but he's kicked it towards the left, and it's only a minor score. So
he's
Mitcham,
kicked it onto Maroondah Highway.
Mitcham 3-4-22 lead Doncaster 1 straight 6 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. We're 19 minutes into the first term, and it looks as if the ball is taking a while to get back into play, BWS.
It's on its way to Lilydale, boys. It landed in the back of a ute.
Braden Ingram's got some stats for us, thanks to Choose Tap.
Doncaster 5 hit-outs to Mitcham 7 clearances. Mitcham 3 to Doncaster's 4, and at the moment inside 50s, Doncaster 10, Mitcham 13.
Great to see 4-time Premiership player and Brownlow medalist Robert Dipier-Domenico out here today,
yes,
watching his son Dylan as the kick goes out. The mark's been taken by cross for Mitcham, about 70 metres out from goal. Now they're a little bit congested inside the forward 45 as the kick goes inside now. Going for the big fly there was Faulkner. It was fisted away from him. Doncaster are going to have the numbers here at the fall of the ball. Carlson has to go in hard. He arched the back. He got the little handball away. He goes after it again, gets another handball. It travelled every bit of 20 metres and probably worth the kick as the ball still bouncing in the middle of the ground. It was taken upon there by Batchelor, got the handball away. Mitcham surged the ball forward. Long searching kick to the top of the goal square, touched on the last line of defence. Another poster. In fact, it was touched into the post, but we'll still call that the 3rd poster for the Mitcham Football Club. And we've only been gone 20 minutes here in the first term. We've hit time on here on EFL Gameday. It's a 17-point margin to the Mitcham Football Club.
Schimmelbusch to bring it back into play for the Sharks. The tempo you just sort of sense has dropped in the past few minutes. Doncaster content to try and slow the play down. Taking the mark there for Doncaster was Pryor. He kicks it towards the outer side of the ground. It wasn't trapped in the end by Jarvis, the big ruckman. And as a consequence, it goes over the line, 50 metres around from Mitcham's goal on the outer side of the ground. That wind is blowing a gale. The boundary riders will be blown off their feet in a second. Miller won the tap.
Not Peter Baird.
Kicks inside the 45. The hand pass comes eventually to Faulkner. They still try and work it out. The chip pass into the pocket, but it's well trapped by the Doncaster defence. Marganis. Eventually the hand pass comes back to Schimmelbusch, who tries to roam and stream off that half-back line. He gives it to his teammate Anarchis, who can roam through the centre of Walker Park. Takes a couple of bounces, arches the back, kicks it long inside 50. Over the top, it was trapped by Nunziato, but it's taken by Muller. Great evasion, deliberate approach to goal, but he's pushed it to the left, and only a minor score. So Doncaster, their first blemish for the afternoon. They're 1-1-7. Mitcham 3-5-23. Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
And that was better by the Doncaster side, the way they ran that ball out of defence. They didn't bomb the ball low. When they kicked it, they kept it low and they hit a target and handball and run with the ball. That's very good play there.
Let's cross down boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care to Peter Baird.
Doncaster are doing very well at the moment to keep the play on that outer side of the ground. That wind is, although it's blowing towards the Maroondah Highway into the ground, it is actually favouring that towards the tennis club there in the left forward pocket, the Maroondah Highway end. So Doncaster doing very well to keep Mitcham scoring opportunities to a minimum, kicking into the wind by keeping the ball on that side of the ground.
Well, Johnson wanted Batchelor. Fantastic special comments coming from the boundary line. We've had about 12 bits of play in the meantime as the ball's across the half-back line now. Nunziato.
Grass under my feet.
You're loving it, mate. Nunziato boots the ball out towards the wing position. Loving watching the ride of this breeze here as a strong mark has been taken there by Johnny Pignataro, one of Ben Waterworth's favourites in the league. So the Pig now goes inside forward 50. It's a strong kick too, bouncing over the back of the pack. Fiora will be the first player to meet it for Doncaster. He probably wants the safety of a rush behind. He eventually sees it through with Aaron Miller right on his hammer. One behind, another one to the Mitcham Football Club. They're peppering the goals, aren't they, in this first term on EFL Gameday. 3-6-24 plays 1-1-7. Braden Ingram, some Choose Tap stats.
The free kicks at the moment. Doncaster 8 to Mitcham 5. Effective tackles 6 for Mitcham. Doncaster 3. And marks intercept. Mitcham 5 intercept marks. Doncaster 1.
Decorato was looking for Marganis with the kick on the outer side of the ground. It's on the half-back flank for Doncaster. And they're besieged. It'll be another stalemate about 50 metres around from Mitcham's goal. Good to see Aaron Fiora on the park for Doncaster. The tap won by Fiora, who was the third man up, trying to force it forward. The umpire's paid a free kick for holding. He won't pay the advantage, though. It's going to come back to Chris Anarchis, the deputy vice-captain of the Doncaster Football Club. Hasn't he been in sizzling form already today? shows great evasion.
He's been a great player for a very long time, Manners boy.
He certainly has. The beard working well as well. Him and Marganis, the terrible twosome. So Anarchis from the half-back flank sends it towards the half-forward flank on the outer side of the ground. Going up for the mark. It was well taken by McKenzie, who moves the play on quickly. Kicks it inside 50. Lumachisi takes the mark. Loops the hand pass to Thompson. Around the corner he snaps. And he's kicked the second goal of the game for Doncaster. Great play from the Sharks. They move on to 2-1-13. Mitcham at 3-6-24. It's an 11-point margin on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. But brilliant play from Doncaster, Ray Beard.
Yeah, look, once that ball got past the centre line there, look, Mitcham, they were caught out because there was just that looping player where they could handball the ball over the top of the Mitcham player, and eventually it came to Nathan Thompson right in the goal square, and all he had to do was pick it up and swing around, and that's his second for the day, Nathan Thompson.
Braden Ingram, thanks to Choose Tap.
Wynn playing a big part here. Of the 12 scoring shots, 10 have come in general play.
Well, the umpire threw it up. McKenzie nearly took it in the full grab, but Mitcham will have the play here and drive the ball inside forward 50, bouncing football. Doncaster through the arms of C. Cavallis will swing around on the left boot. That was an okay kick, but Buchanara was the first one to trap it. He hit the ground and he was felled upon, so he receives a free kick. Quilty's there for the handball if he wants to use it, but Buchanara, you'd expect him to probably go a little bit longer here. Inside forward 50, the ball now goes at the fall, the ball Hogle. He's a clever player and he might just bang this one through, and off one step, Chris Hogle puts through his second goal of the afternoon. That's 47 for him for the season so far, and Mitcham get the quick answer on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. They are 4 goals, 6:30. Doncaster 2-1-13, 25 minutes gone first term. Yeah, look, that was an opportunist goal. Chris Hoble just picked it up, snapped it towards the goal and straight through the middle. But look, Scott Homer wouldn't be very happy with the number of players inside that forward 50. There's more people in there than what's at Flinders Street Station at 5 o'clock on a weeknight. I tell you, they need to open it up, and also when they get the ball on the half-forward line, hang on to it for a little while until you get an option, because they're just bombing it in there. They're playing into Doncaster's hands.
Ray Baird, the comedian, in special comments. Peduto got the hand pass. Could Doncaster answer? Deep here to Medico's kick was smothered. Eventually it's kicked back for Mitcham by Whitnish. It goes into open space now in the centre of the ground. Running onto it was Pryor for Doncaster. He mishandled it. Eventually it snapped around the corner for Mitcham inside 50. A bit of a scrap. A kick towards goal. It dribbled across the face. It was from Anthony Faulkner, and a minor score for the Tigers. 4-8-32 they are on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Doncaster 2-1-13.
Let's cross down boundary side to Paul Semasides, thanks to Akira Urgent Care.
It was Aaron Miller matched up on Matt Schimmelbusch at the moment. Probably not showing him the respect that Schimmer demands. Just running around doing his own thing. He's going to get a lot of the footy.
Well, he's kicking it in as we speak, Paul, as the kick goes out towards the half-back line. Anarka's got a little scrambly kicking towards the middle of the ground. That might be all right if Muller can come in and be able to trap the ball. Doncaster, they'll do okay here if Nunziato gets the ball for Mitcham. That was good. Handball over the top. Carlson copped one in the back. No, I don't think that was Carlson. It was Pryor. In fact, gets the handball away to Anarkas. Carlson provided the shepherd. Inside forward 50. Anarkas goes now. It's a 2-on-2 situation. Thompson stands strong. Johnson got the knockdown. Well done there by Nunziato to get the handball away. Mitcham now across the members' side of the wing here position. Anarkas was the only one that really wanted that football, wasn't he? Kicks the ball inside forward 50. Here's Lumachisi. He's a clever footballer. Gives it, don't argue, and then goes for it and then kicks it right across the face of goal with one of the most unorthodox actions in the Eastern Football League. You just don't know what he might be able to pull out. He'll either put it straight through the middle or kick it exactly like he did, Ray Bear.
Look, it was very awkward style, but it was a wasted opportunity as far as Doncaster were concerned, because he should have kicked that goal.
He was on his favoured left side as well, as the umpire will bring the ball back in. Thompson goes up in the ruck. Carlson will be at the fall. The ball, and the first player to meet it there for Doncaster is clever enough just to pop the ball up. Peduto's in there for support. He needs to be able to trap the football. Coming in very hard was Melder, and he's given away a free kick for too high. So the free kicks with Doncaster. The short passes on. McKenzie's made space at the 50. He's just taken off. He might nearly be caught. He needs to swing around on the left foot now. Now in Nunziato's hands. He's been a pillar of strength in the back half already in this quarter. Gets the handball away, and Mitcham drive the ball out towards the wing position.
Running onto the football was Decorato for Doncaster. He's got help there in the form of Anarkas. Who can provide the chip pass, and he eventually does. It's marked by Carlson. Got the hand pass over the top. Schimmelbusch trying to burst his way through the pack. He was gang tackled. Peduto at the bottom of the pack. It should be a stalemate. The umpire is waiting, and he's holding the ball. So it'll be a Mitcham free kick on their half-back flank. And it'll be interesting to see who takes it, because it was well tackled. And Schimmelbusch refusing to give the ball back. So Mitcham have possession on the half-back flank. The ball is switched towards the Pignataro direction. He couldn't quite take it, but the umpire will give him a free kick for a high tackle. So Pignataro chips the pass to his teammate at Petrarca, who wheels around onto the left foot. It's an unguarded goal square, but he's missed the mark. It's offline and only a minor score for Mitcham there, 4-8-32. Doncaster 2-1-13, late in the first term on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
So Schimmelbusch now, as always, short passes on. It seems like both sides, Ray Baird, are having a lot of the play at this stage, and the wind really is probably being the difference at the moment.
Yeah, look, the wind has been the difference, but I just feel that in the last 5 minutes or so, it's the Doncaster sides that have actually got on top.
Well, Fry took a diving mark on quarter time. He had a terrific first term, and so did the Mitcham Football Club, who had 12 scoring shots to 3 in that opening term there, with 2 goals on the board to Chris Hogle. He was fantastic, as singles to Pignataro and Whitnish, while Doncaster, their major goal kicker is Nathan Thompson with 2 on the board. Interesting game we've got on our hands. It's 19 points the difference out here. Should be a great game for out the rest of the day. Please get down here to Walker Park if you're in the area. Plenty of great scores. Thanks to Akira Urgent Care to Peter Baird.
It's funny you talk about Renato Nunziato, because that's the player Scott Homewood identified at quarter time. He singled him out and said, have a look at the job this man's doing for us. We need teammates to drop back into defence. We're going to play a loose man in the back line this quarter. We're going to try and run the ball through the wings. We're not going to bomb the centre half forward. We're going to kick ball deep into our forward line and try and turn our opponents out goal side.
Well, the second quarter's about to get underway here. We'll cross down to Paul Semacedes very shortly, but Damien Watson is about to take us away with all the action in second quarter.
So the commencement of the second term, it's Mitcham with a handy 19-point buffer over Doncaster here at Walker Park. Division 3 action, final round, and we're underway. McKenzie got the knockdown, tried to rove his own footy. Burrowing in there was Andriatta for Mitcham, who won the clearance for the Tigers. Looks in the Hogle direction inside the 45. The ball eludes all players. Decorado tried to fire the hand pass out. Found his teammate at Palakas, who tries to keep the ball in, is successful. Chips the pass to Anarkis, who grabs it on centre wing. The old 1-2 back to Palakas. Oh, he slipped over. It was quite comical at the end, and Mitcham could try and turn it over. They burrow in after the footy. Coming through was Fiora. A free kick's been picked out for a throw, and it's going Mitcham's way. Pignataro, the recipient, tries to spear the pass inside 50. In fact, it was Petrarca looking for Pignataro. In there was Morris. Tried to extract the footy. Eventually it comes out. Anarkis was manhandled. In fact, it was Marganas manhandled off the footy. Decorado was taken down, trying to barge his way through Braden Cross. Got the kick out of the congestion. Taken there by Taylor, who sends a high ball inside the 50, and the mark has been taken. They've got a couple of options deep, but it looks as if it'll be a lined-up shot on goal for Mitcham, and this could be the best start to the second term that the Tigers were looking for, Ray Baird.
Yeah, look, it certainly would be. Look, it wasn't pretty, that section of play there, but they just have forced the ball forward at all costs, and eventually they got a kick out of the pack and they've marked it.
It's a hard one to call too. So Mitcham could have a 25-point lead early in this second term. This is a very crucial kick. Be kicking from about 40 metres out on a very acute angle. Be kicking on that right foot as well. Against the breeze, it holds up, it's high, but it looks pretty good. The Mitcham faithful like it. They go to their feet, and it's another goal to the Tigers. They move on to 5-8-38. Doncaster a 2-1-13 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Early going second term, and Chris Hogle was the goal kicker. That's his third major.
Yeah, look, that must be the spot to kick the goals from, because that's exactly the same spot that Nathan Thompson kicked one from in the first quarter.
Well, the breeze is working, an absolute treat. Paul Semacedes was at the Doncaster huddle with Andrew Tranquilli at quarter time.
Yeah, he lamented just a little bit of a lack of intensity in the first quarter there, and used the words "just hit him" about 3 or 4 times. So they'll be fired up, the Sharks.
5 goals to 2. They won't be happy with their start here as McKenzie, he got the knockdown to no one's clear advantage. Anarkis might have thrown that, but the umpire said it was fair as they drive the ball inside forward 50. Thompson came out, crashed 2 packs. The ball paddles over the boundary line and out of bounds. 45 metres out from the Mitcham goal line. 2.5 minutes gone in this second term. It is a 25-point lead, but it is a very big breeze out here, and it is in the favour of the Doncaster side in this second term. So you probably would expect scores to even up a little bit as the umpire eventually brings the ball back in. Quilty over the back of the pack. He got the third man knocked down. No one clear, comes in. Peduto put his head over the ball. He got a little shove. The umpire will come in and bounce it. Once again, has squared it up a little bit here. 45 metres out from goal. Braden Ingram, thanks to Choose Tap.
Hit outs in the first term. Mitcham 9-8. Centre clearances 2-1 to Doncaster. Clearances 9-5 to Doncaster. Inside 50s 19-14 in favour of Mitcham.
Well, Mackenzie tried to trap it in the middle of the ground. It was snapped around the body that time there by Torn Henderson. Bouncing football. It might be a free kick here to Ross Palakis. He got hit heavily, and he hit the ground as well, but he received the free kick. It might have been, I would say, probably a little bit Tiggy Touchwood, but he'll definitely take the free kick, won't he? 40 metres out, he'll kick from directly in front. Yeah, there wasn't much in that contest at all, BWS. So Ross Palakis, he'll be looking for the quick answer.
You back him?
You certainly do back him from this position. It's distance certainly won't be a problem. Directly in front. He's a class player, leans over the ball and kicks it straight over the goal umpire's head. Fantastic reply by the Doncaster Football Club. That's the first goal to Ross Palakis, but that is their third for the afternoon, and they narrow the margin back to 19 points. 3-1-19 is Doncaster trailing Mitcham. 5-8-38, 4 minutes gone in the second term, Ray. Yeah, look, that's one that Scott Homer wouldn't have wanted them to get so quickly into the quarter. Okay, they got the first one, Mitcham, but then to get one back like that, Doncaster, they're right back in this.
So Palakis with a crucial goal into the with the breeze rather for Doncaster, and it's important they get a run on in this second term while they have that advantage. So the ball back in the centre. Mackenzie stayed down and won the knock. Running onto it is Lubachisi trying to break through the pack. Got the hand pass in the Anarchist direction. He couldn't quite trap it, and now Mitcham have the numbers running off half back. The chip pass comes to Petrarca, eludes a couple of players, gives it to his teammate in Cross, who sends a proving kick inside 50 in the direction of Faulkner. The bounce will oblige for him. Faulkner squares it up to the top of the square. At the back, Pignataro struck his opponent. He was caught behind. It'll be a Doncaster free kick. Let's cross down boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care to Paul Mercedes.
Both sides playing a loose man in defence. It's Miller for Mitcham, and unbelievably, Matt Schimmelbusch all on his own in the defensive six for Doncaster.
Well, plenty of great games as you go local for your football today. Ben Waterworth, Division 4 scores a quarter time.
Let's have a look at Division 4. Canterbury by 6 points over Park Orchard. South Belgrave by 70 over Coldstream. Ferntree Gully by 4 over Sylvan. Surrey Park by 6 over Forest Hill, and Nunawading by 15 over the Eastern Line.
Division 3 while you're at it, mate.
Whitehorse by 34 points over Heathmont. The Basin by 24 over Churnside Park. Glen Waverley by 8 over Warrandyte. Templestowe by 5 over Baronia. And here in the radio game, it's Mitcham leading by 19 points.
Well, Chris Anarka saw it over the boundary line. Another stoppage, Division 2.
Division 2, Montrose by 14 points over North Ringwood. Mulgrave by 2 over Doncaster East. Mooroolbark by 4 over Croydon. Upper Ferntree Gully leads Bayswater by 4 points, but Donvale leads the Waverley Blues by 9.
Well, Schimmelbusch, he's moved up to the half-forward line, got the little handball over the top. Nunziato comes in for the Tigers. He wanted the boundary line, he rode a tackle, and he got the safety of it. Division 1, Ben Waterworth.
South Croydon leads Blackburn by 30 points. East Burwood by 15 points over Lilydale. East Ringwood leads Roval by 7 points, Ray Baird. Vermont leads Norwood by 20 points, and Scoresby leading Baldwin by 7 points.
So some interesting results across the league today. We'll be keeping you right up to date with those. Of course, it is the last round in Divisions 4, 3 and 2 this afternoon, so some pending results. We'll have a lot to say today as the ball goes up towards the wing position. Searle was in there for the Tigers, couldn't quite trap it, and the umpire will come in and bounce it. True centre wing position on the far side. In fact, the non-officiating umpire has come in here to hand a free kick away, so it'll go the way of McGarnis for Doncaster. Well, as we said, the wing position, no one stands the mark, so he can gallop up a few metres, kick it inside forward 50, and that is a lead by Nathan Thompson, and it was a pinpoint accuracy pass too, and he takes it out on the chest about 45 metres, and he'll go back to kick Doncaster's second in a row and possibly their fourth, Ray. Yeah, look, that was the perfect pass. Nathan Thompson, he didn't break stride and marked it on his chest, right on the 50-metre line, probably 10 metres in from the boundary on the tennis club side of the ground. So he'll kick from 50 metres, Nathan Thompson. He kicked 2 in the first term. This will be a great start for him in the third if he can poke this one through. Kicks it to the top of the goal square. Doesn't have enough legs. It's hit the post. Well, the post are getting a lot of the action down that end at the Maroondah Highway of Walker Park today. And a fourth poster hitting there. And this time it's the first of the Doncaster Football Club. They're trailing by 18 points as we reach the 7-minute mark of the second term.
The Tigers run it out of defence. The kick is booted towards centre wing and a brilliant mark. Great bodywork by Turcarelli, and it appears it's going to come back.
It was a push. Yeah. He was lucky to get away with it. We thought that he did, but he didn't.
You mentioned Tiggy Touchwood BWS. It's probably an example. So the recipient will be Decorato for Doncaster. Chips it short to his teammate Ed Fiora, who wheels around onto the left foot. Sends it long to the hot spot. Thompson one-on-one at the back. Couldn't quite hold it. Tries to barge his way through a couple of opponents. Eventually gives the hand pass back to Anarchis. Snap around the corner. Just missed. off to the right and only a minor score. So Doncaster 3-3-21 trail Mitcham 5-8-38 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
That must be a daunting sight to those Mitcham defenders there. When you see Nathan Thompson pick the ball up and he comes running, he had probably 3 of them hanging off him there and he just did not retard him one bit.
So Daniel Johnson will bring the ball back into play. The short pass is on. That's okay. Making space there is Andrew Buckenara. You'd expect them to use the members' side here, the Tigers, as the kick goes further afield now. And they've linked up nicely. Short option on there in Miller. That was ignored, so the kick goes up towards the Turkarelli direction. He comes out and takes a mark. They've got a bit of a run on here. If they can swing around and find Faulkner, he's all by himself. But the other short option is on, and the mark has been taken about 20 metres out from goal from Chris Hogle, who's already kicked 3 goals for the afternoon. He'll go back and put through probably one of the easiest shots that he's had for the day so far, Ray Baird. 40 metres out directly in front.
Yeah, even though he's kicking against the wind, if he keeps it fairly low, I think that he should make the distance quite here. But that was great play by Turkarelli. He could have just blazed away as he ran in there to over the 50 metre mark, but no, he lowered his eyes and he's hit him right in the chest, and now opportunity now to kick the goal.
So Hogle will come in from about 45 metres out. The kick will go on goal. Ray said keep it low, but he keeps it high. Kicks it straight over the goal umpire's head. Fantastic goal by the Mitcham Football Club. What breeze out here at Walker Park. They know how to play this ground, don't they? 6 goals, 8-44 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. It's a 23-point margin over Doncaster, 3-3-21. Paul Semasides has got some dirt boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care.
I'm not sure if it's dirt, but both sides falling into the same trap. Doncaster kicking with the wind this quarter, doing what Mitcham did in the first quarter and flooding it and just have stacks of numbers in there, while the Mitcham forward line right now is as open as the Doncaster forward line was in the first quarter.
Braden Ingram, thanks to Choose Tap.
Yeah, at the moment the hit-outs 2-4 in favour of Doncaster, clearances 3-1 in favour of Doncaster, and the inside 56 each.
Mitcham have the runners streaming off half-back. Eventually the hand pass comes from Searle off to his teammate in Petrarca, who sends a proving kick towards half-forward. Great mark on the stretch there from Anthony Faulkner of the Tigers, and he gets the applause of the crowd as a result. So Faulkner on the right foot sends it long to the hot spot. Doncaster have the numbers though and the tall timber, and it's well marked by McKenzie. He looks to the members' side of the ground, finds his teammate in McNamara, who's in a ton of space. He in turn chips the pass to his teammate in Maguire.
He's scary looking.
He certainly is, and sends a scary looking ball towards half forward. Flying over the back was Marganis, but reading the ball well off the pack. Torn Henderson looks into the hot spot, but he's picked out the wrong player, and it's marked deep in defence for the Mitcham Football Club by Aaron Miller, who looks towards the outer side of the ground. Running onto it there was Emerson. He couldn't quite trap it. The sanctity of the boundary line prevails. We'll have a throw in 60 metres around from goal.
Look, I questioned Nathan Thompson's fitness, boy. Look, when the ball comes to him, he's fantastic. But then that ball, he only had 10 or 12 metres to get to the contest, and no way known was he going to make it.
So the ball's now in the arms of Carlson. Got the little handball out. It was chopped off there by Nunziato. Coming in to lend some support. Holstein Wild got the little handball out. It's still inside that forward 50 for Doncaster. If they can keep this ball alive, Anarchis comes through, snaps around the body, swings around on the right boot. It's got too much carry on it, through for one behind over the top of Nathan Thompson's head, who was getting double teamed at the time. 11 and a half minutes gone here in the second term, and Mitcham are double the score of Doncaster. 3-4-22, play 6-8-44.
Halstep Wild looks towards the wing position, goes over the head of his teammate in Cross, who regains it, dribbles it towards half forward. It's picked up for Doncaster by Coburn, who eludes a couple of whoopee tacklers, goes towards half forward. Big spoil at the back coming from Halstep Wild for Mitcham, but Doncaster kick it inside 50. Nunziato traps it on the ground. He's besieged by Thompson. The umpire calls for respite, and we'll have a ball up 40 metres around from Doncaster's goal.
And Nunziato, he's carrying on as he did in that first quarter, filling that hole in front of Thompson there.
He's an admirable player, Nunziato, almost a cult figure rather for Mitcham. So a ball up, one by McKenzie, who went latter. Eventually it's taken by Anarchis, whose kick slews off the side of his boot and bounces through for a minor score. So Doncaster move on to 3-5-23. Mitcham 6-8-44. Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Boundary.
It's crossed down boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care to Peter Baird.
Mitcham's second ruckman, Mark Emerson's just come from the ground holding his right shoulder very, very gingerly. Looks like he's in a little bit of trouble here. He's gone for a walk on the boundary, but actually may require a few minutes before and some attention before he'd be able to come back onto the ground.
Well, keep a close eye on things, Pete, but also Richard McNamara for Doncaster is going to have a shot on goal, so not too sure what was happening across the defensive 50 there. Did you see that, Damo?
Well, I think it was probably a bit of undisciplined play, maybe gave him a whack, so the sledging's still alive in local footy.
Certainly is, as this is going to be a massive kick in the context of this game for Richie McNamara. Kick from about 45 metres out. As we know, distance won't be a problem. Anarkas has just run along hoping to get a received handball. But McNamara, he's confident in his approach. He leans over the ball. He kicks strong at it, but he pushes it to the left-hand side. He wanted it to come back a little bit too much, and it didn't. Paul Samasides, thanks to Akira Urgent Care boundary side.
You mentioned this game was a little bit testy, Damo, but umpire Ray Phillips had a chat to both camps at quarter time about the possibility of maybe some racial slurs going on out there. So that's not good to hear or see, but that's why there's a bit of emotion in this one.
So Mitcham trying to relieve the tension from defence. They're trying to work it out and formulate an attack, as you can see, just tripping it around if you're watching on the live stream. So they try and work it out. Halstead Wild kicks it long towards the Nunziato direction, but as you can see, the breeze picked that up and it slews over the boundary line out in the full. And the recipient will be Muller for Doncaster, who wheels around on that right foot, kicks it towards the hot spot, coming in from the side, Maguire. He couldn't quite trap it, and they besiege a couple of players. The umpire has picked out a free kick for a high tackle. And it's going the way of Mitcham, deep in their defensive half. And it looks as if Petrarca will be the recipient. So Petrarca's got a couple of options out wide. He can switch the play. Instead he opts for the short pass, looks for his teammate. It's well marked by Andrew Buckenara, who copped one for his trouble. So Buckenara on the half-back flank. Chips it in the Pignataro direction. It wasn't trapped in the end by Morris for Mitcham. The umpire's picked out a free kick, and it's going the way of the Tigers. So again, just trying to move it forward. Oh, that was kicked. Well, there was a shocker at the end, but it could work out. Bustling his way through Rob Petrarca, who gets the hand pass on the members' wing. It's not pretty football. Trying to keep the ball in play. Whitnish, he doesn't succeed. It'll be a ball in on the members' wing here at Walker Park, rather.
And look, the Doncaster side, they just look, they're gone a bit undisciplined in the last 5 minutes or so, giving away some silly free kicks.
So the ball came out to Rob Petrarca, got the handball across in the middle of the ground. That was okay. Andreetta got the handball across to Cross. That didn't really make too much sense, but it certainly did as he runs away with it again. But the umpire said, bring it back. It's a free kick on the wing position. So some unruly play by both sides, creating a little bit of tension out here. And a free kick has been awarded in the middle of the ground. I think this is going the way of Mitcham, and I think it's going to Buckenara, so it'll be where the ball last landed. Umpires coming in talking about what's going on. It might actually be a ball up, so no one's too sure what's actually happening out here, but the smartest option was to throw it up in the middle of the ground, so fair enough as the umpire throws it up now. Jarvis got the knockdown, the kick goes inside forward 50. Thompson was clever enough to keep this ball alive. Fry was there, got the handball back to Thompson. The umpire said it was out of bounds on the 50-metre line, and we'll have a throw in at that very mark.
Just a clarification of what happened there. I think both umpires blew their whistle for a free kick, so they decided to ball it up.
Yeah, well, it sounded like the reasonable outcome, certainly, didn't it? Dipper went up in the ruck, but it came down towards McKenzie, who banked it on his boot and off one step as well. Slams it straight over the goal umpire's head. You don't expect the rover, the ruckman, to rove the ball up and kick a goal, Ray Bear, but he certainly did that, the big man, and a super goal by Doncaster, clawing their way back into this game at the 16-minute mark of the second term. It's a 14-point margin on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, Mitcham's way.
Yeah, look, it was very interesting play by McKenzie there, because kicking the ball towards the goal was his second option. He grabbed it from the boundary throw in. He went to hand pass it, then thought, no, better of it, I'll put this on my boot myself, which he did, and he banged it straight through the middle, and that is no doubt a goal that the Doncaster side needed.
They certainly did, Ray Baird. McKenzie whittling the margin back to 14 points. So Mitcham have the advantage, but Doncaster with the breeze in this second term. Eventually it's won by Lubachisi, who wins the clearance for Doncaster. The hand pass eventually comes to his teammate in, obviously, Torn Henderson, who kicks it to centre half forward, and the mark has been made.
That's 25. That is just stupid.
Just undisciplined play there by the Mitcham defenders, and Muller will almost have a certain goal on his board from 20 metres out directly in front, and just undisciplined play there by the Mitcham defenders, Ray Baird.
Yeah, look, even if the man's gone off his line, you cannot attack him until the umpire calls play.
Well, he ran over the mark anyway, so it was 25 regardless. It actually wasn't
the man on the mark, it was someone come in from the side.
But either way, he stood in front of him, so
that's right,
that's the reason why the free kick's been paid.
So Steve Muller to line up from 20 metres out directly in front, should have no trouble with the aid of the breeze. His kick is true, swings back. He made the goal umpire work, but it's a conversion, and Doncaster back in the game. They move on to 5-6-36. Mitcham 6-8-44 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. We're halfway through the second quarter.
Yeah, look, sometimes that game of football can be very savage on you because, I mean, they've kicked 2 goals within a minute there, the Doncaster side. And Mitcham, they've done all the work for the first half of the quarter, but now they're paying the penalty with those 2 quick goals to Doncaster.
Braden Ingram, thanks to Choose Tap.
Well, you can't question the wind's effect on this game. Inside 50s this quarter, Doncaster 11-6, and of the scoring shots, 5 of the 25 have been scored at the club rooms, and only all the other 20 have been at the Maroondah Highway end.
Well, the umpire threw it up. Jarvis got the big knockdown. Peduto tried to barge his way through a pack, but he got dispossessed. Mitcham along the wing position here, bouncing football. He'll be the first meted, and probably a free kick should have been paid here for a free kick in the back to Holstead Wild, and the umpire eventually did see it, so it'll go towards James Holstead Wild, who's just tried to creep up on the mark here. McNamara was standing 10 metres behind him. The umpire said, come on back. So they'll get a chance to set themselves up here. From the wing position here, Holstead Wild for Mitcham. Screaming for players to present across the half-forward line. The big fly at the back there by McGarnis. He got the fist on the ball. Ball hits the deck. Who's going to come in here? Handball by McKenzie over the top. There's tailed by Searle. He's been relatively quiet. Wrapped up in a tackle by Carlson. And we'll have a bounce right in front of the feisty members here out at Walker Park today. The Tigers, their finals bound for the first time in a number of years. And everybody is getting behind them. Jarvis goes up that time against Melder. No clear knockout. And Arcus at the fall of the ball. One of the cleverest players in the division. Swings around now on the right boot, kicks it up towards the McKenzie direction. Ball was fisted away from him, but McKenzie won the free kick, and he might just be able to move this nicely on quickly here because Thompson's created a lead, and he comes out and takes the mark. Great jukes. He came out like a bull at a gate, and he took it on the first bite, Ray Baird, and he'll have a shot on goal from about 40 metres out to kick his third.
Yeah, look, who said Big Ruckman can't pass the ball like that? That was a perfect pass by McKenzie. Once again, Nathan Thompson didn't break stride, marked the ball with his hands out in front of him, and they're going back to a big chance for the Doncaster side to kick their 3rd goal in as many minutes.
So Nathan Thompson, what a pickup he's been for the Doncaster Football Club this year. He's been averaging 5 goals a game. He'll come in and probably only kick from about 40 with a big breeze at his back, leans over the ball, pushes it across the face. He'll be upset with that one because the goal umpire went straight to the behinds and touched himself on the right breast, and through it goes for 1 behind Ray Baird. 5 goals, 7:37 Doncaster. It's only a 7-point ball game, 6-8-44 is Mitcham.
Yeah, we're 20 minutes into the quarter, so what Mitcham's got to do now, they've just got to try and slow the play up because Doncaster, they've got the ascendancy again.
Brilliant tackle applied, and the umpire will call for a ball up. So tension really palpable here at Walker Park. Things getting willing between the players. Be a ball up 60 metres around from Doncaster's goal. Lubachisi breaks away from the pack. That was great evasion. Gives the hand pass back to his teammate in McNamara. A high ball into the pocket. Nunziato didn't get an obliging bounce, and as a consequence he's taken to the ground, but it looks as if he'll receive a free kick in the back pocket for Mitcham. So Nunziato was pushed in the back. Opts to switch the play. It's a dangerous option, but it eventually finds his teammate in Cross. So Cross for Mitcham. Obviously trying to find an option on the outer side of the ground. He chips the pass. Finds his teammate in Quilty. So Quilty in turn looks into the middle. Glossop takes the mark at centre half back. So Mitcham just trying to stem the Doncaster flow in this second term. Glossop looks out wide. They've got a plethora of options on that outer side of the ground. They've been effective in doing that all day. Coming out, trying to meet the football there was David Searle. It goes over the boundary line. We'll have a football in on the outer wing here at Walker Park. And the tempo just dropping a little bit, but Doncaster certainly pushing their way back into the game.
Braden Ingram, thanks to Choose Tap.
Clearances at the moment, Doncaster 7 leading Mitcham 3. Inside 50s 12-6 in favour of Doncaster, and marks inside 52 each this quarter.
We'll mark another knockdown to Doncaster, Braden, because Jarve got a double fister away there, but we've got another boundary throwing. And speaking of the boundary line, Peter Baird's got something to say thanks to Akira Urgent Care.
Yeah, the second Mitcham ruckman, Mark Emerson, he's got the tracksuit top on. He's got some severe ice pack on a contusion on his right elbow. The Mitcham trainer's not wanting to give much away, but it looks like his day's dusted. With Doncaster having 2 ruckmen, it might actually be quite influential late in the game.
Great stuff there by Dr. Frosty as Zanaka's got the handball away to Dipia to Domenico, and he swung around on the right boot, and I tell you what, it was pretty close too, but it went through for 1 behind. So Doncaster, they're still trailing this game by 1 straight kick now. A bit of inaccurate kicking today by both sides. 6-8-44 Mitcham plays Doncaster 5-8-38 as Mitcham, well, they've working their way back into into play here with the short option on in Johnson. They do the zone across the centre half forward line where all players mark, so you expect them to probably go for the long option, but sometimes they change it up. Searle will get the handball back. That was okay. Mitcham now drive the ball up towards the wing position. Who's going to be the big flyer here? Schimmelbusch stood tall. He couldn't quite bring the mark down. Fry at the fall of the ball now for Doncaster. Swings around on his right boot. That kick wasn't too clever though. It was chopped off there by Cross, who arches it back. He takes a bounce. The bounce wasn't kind to him either in the middle of the ground. Now Doncaster look like they might have the numbers. Carlson's in there, so too is Fry, but Cross goes after it again. Super effort by the young man, picks it up, bangs it on his boot up towards the half forward line. Unfortunately the wind got a hold of it, out of bounds on the full. And it'll be Doncaster through Schimmelbusch to bring the ball back. And
that's one each, boys, one to each team. Players running down the field and bouncing the ball and it not coming back to them.
So Schimmelbusch, who's been steadfast in the Doncaster defence thus far this afternoon, he'll take it from the half-back flank. He's got an option in Coleman if he wants to switch it, but he opts to go along the line. It was a good option, but McKenzie spilt the mark. But still, he has enough support. A hoisted long kick inside the 50, looking for Lubachisi. Thompson at the back couldn't quite take it on the bounce. It'll be a ball in deep in Doncaster's forward 45. They're looking ominous in this second term. Only a goal the difference after they trailed by a considerable margin at quarter time.
It's been much of a copy of the first quarter though, Damien. I mean, both sides kicking with the wind have wasted opportunities.
They certainly have. Accuracy hasn't been beneficial to both sides this afternoon. Nunziato dives on top of the football, could have been pinned. Jarvis was in there as well. He had the ball stripped off him, eventually taken to ground. The umpires called out a free kick for a push in the back. It'll be a Mitcham ball, and it's going to be taken by Cross. Deep in defence for the Tigers. So Cross, back to Miller. Chips it across the face of goal. It was a risky kick, but it'll be a Mitcham free. Deep inside their defensive 50. It'll be taken by Glossop on the outer side of the ground. Opts to chip it back to his teammate in Miller. Almost the 15. Eventually the umpire has paid the mark, so Miller takes it on half-back, as BWS mentioned, just trying to work the zone. They switch it across the ground, slowing the play up. Glossop receives. Sends the hand pass over to his teammate. It's risky play because Thompson is bearing down, but Mitcham eventually prevail. They clear it from their defensive 50. Taken by Batchelor, trying to formulate an attack. He's got a lead. Oh, it was a shocking kick. Obviously, the intended target was Turcarelli, and he's going to receive the free kick.
I don't know what that free kick was for, boys.
Turcarelli on centre wing.
A graze.
Chips the pass. Batchelor again receives for Mitcham. They've got a congested forward line here, so he might have to go with the short option. He's on centre wing. Schimmelbusch pleading on the mark. Eventually, Batchelor looks inside 45. They've double-teamed Doncaster. Didn't work out. Hogle tries to shoot for his fifth, but he sprayed it across the face, and it's out of bounds on the full. So it'll be a free kick to Doncaster deep in their defensive zone.
Scott Homewood would be very happy with that passage of play. They brought that ball right from the goal line down the back there, and they just chipped it. They waited until they had an opportunity rather than bombing the ball forward. And now, unfortunately, though, the kick came and went out of bounds right in front of the goal, the point post.
So the kick goes up towards the McGarnis direction. He stands in front and he stands strong too. Good juke, Benny McGarnis. So almost on the wing position here for Doncaster. You'd expect him to sail this every bit of 50 metres and put the ball right in contention inside forward 50. Kick goes up towards the McKenzie direction. Also there is Maguire at the fall of the ball. Mitcham will get a scrambly kick away, but out of bounds on the full. That wasn't too crash hot. That was Glossop. It might have actually been Quilty, in fact. So the captain won't be happy with that, as Doncaster will get another chance to reload from only about 75 metres out from goal. Richie McNamara has the ball. So he's got Carlson asking for it sideways, but you'd probably expect him to go longer. Jarvis provided a very good lead inside forward 50. They've got players across centre half forward, so that's where the kick's going to go. Inside forward 50. Great mark, Muller. He had three players behind him for a little bit of protection, and he stood strong and took the mark. So, 25. And he copped one after as well, and a little bit of back chat, and the umpire said, well, you can just come on up to the top of the goal square, my friend, and put through Doncaster's 6th goal and level the scores out here at Walker Park today.
And Muller's been one of the better players for the Doncaster side so far today. Look, he's been fantastic there.
He's worked hard, there's no doubt about that, and he's been presenting very well across that half forward line, forward 50 mark, and now he gets the opportunity to slam through his first goal of the afternoon. Put an important one on the board for Doncaster, leans over it, straight over the goal umpire's head, no mistake. Doncaster level the scores out here at Walker Park. It is 6-8, 44 apiece at the 27.5 minute mark.
And there's nothing in this game, boys. To pick a winner from here, I don't think anybody could, because it's going to be the premiership quarter, the third quarter. There's no doubt about that.
So a second 25-metre penalty for the term, gifting Muller his second major for the quarter. And all of a sudden, things tightening up. In fact, the scores are level, as was mentioned.
Braden Ingram, thanks to Choose Tab.
Free kicks pretty even. The umpire's paying a fair few of them as well. Mitcham 9, Doncaster 11. Inside 50s, Doncaster really on top. They've had 16, Mitcham to 7. The win helping Doncaster out there.
Back at the centre, the tap was won by Morris, but Doncaster win the clearance through Peduto. It sends a long kick in the Thompson direction. He couldn't quite reach it. At the back of the pack was Halstead Wild. He tries to keep it in play for Mitcham. Dribbles it along the boundary line. Charging through was McNamara. Couldn't take it on the half volley. And eventually the umpire has called for respite. It'll be a ball up just inside Doncaster's 45, but they're certainly pressing in this second term. So the ball again set in motion. Maguire couldn't quite take it. It's hacked out of the pack, but the mark has been taken there by Anarchis, who can again send the ball long inside Doncaster's attacking 45. He intends to wheel around onto that right foot, sends it long into the hot spot at the back. A huge mark for Fiora. Hasn't been paid by the umpire. Thompson applies the tackle.
Oh, that is stiff.
Gee, that was almost one of the marks of the year. Aaron Fiora couldn't quite hold on to it and control it. So it'll be a ball up deep inside Doncaster's 50.
I thought you boys are getting excited over nothing then. He'd never controlled the ball. He was up there and he had it for a long time, but never in control of it.
Just trying to add some colour. A snap at goal. It's gone astray. That
Boundary.
kick came from Maguire and only a minor score. Let's head down to the boundary thanks to Akira Urgent Care.
Yeah, it's just dropped about 3 or 4 degrees down here, I reckon. The Mitcham faithful trading in the cold VB stubbies for some nice warm cups of tea.
Great stuff, Paul Mercedes giving us the facts, not the hearsay. Ray Baird is back. Damo adding a bit of colour. You're used to the old black and white type of style, aren't you,
Yeah, no, that's right. Look, what Mitcham's done very well today, kicking in from behind. They've spread very well and they've given the fullback an opportunity to pass the ball to him.
So Mitcham, they'd really probably just want to run down this clock here. That's you'd say it's an ordinary looking kick, but it just gave no one really a chance, and Coleman stood strong for Doncaster as the half-time siren sounds out here at Walker Park. And what a terrific game we are seeing out here.
He wants to have a shot here, boys, from behind the centre circle.
Well, we may as well just still call this because
Got the wind.
Malcolm Blyde, it's a big kick. No, it comes in now and he just absolutely shanks it. So bouncing football to absolutely nowhere. It barely went inside forward 50. So Doncaster at half-time, they lead it by 1 point. What a game. 6-8-44 Mitcham. Doncaster 6-9-45. The major goal kicker on the ground is Chris Hogle. He's having an absolute ripper for Mitcham. He's kicked 4. Nathan Thompson has a couple for the Doncaster Football Club. And we're all set for a big second half. But there's 20 other great games as you go local for your football. Plus the Channel 9 news desk with Clint Stanaway coming up right after this on EFL Game Day. We are having...
Here, what's the message to the boys at half-time?
Oh, the message is pretty clear. This is a very even game of football. These sides need to assert themselves on the game and break it open. And, we've got the chance this quarter with the win, so we'll see if we can. Otherwise, it's going to be a very hard game to hold on with this sort of strong breeze.
And how far do you have to be in front at three-quarter time to feel really comfortable?
Coaches never feel really comfortable. I would have thought 10, but 6 might be enough.
Thank you there to Frosty Baird. We'll come back to you in a sec, Ben Waterworth, with Damien Watson. You have the start of the third term.
Underway in the second half of Walker Park. It's Doncaster by a solitary point. Eventually the ball is in dispute after the ruck contest. It's kicked off the ground by Anarchis, and the umpire has adjudged that kicking in danger, so it looks as if it'll be a Mitcham free kick from the centre. They could use the runners in cross. Braden Cross arches the back, takes McNamara on, hoists it high inside the 50. It's punched to ground level. Racing onto the football there is Searle. In fact, Quilty for Mitcham, who swings it round the corner. Didn't quite make the goals. It comes down to ground level and it's rushed through for Doncaster by Coleman. And it'll be a minor score to Mitcham, so it'll be 6-9-45 apiece on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
So they're quick to move the ball on, Doncaster. To see Bobby's Burgers sold out at quarter time here today. They are an absolute staple out here at Walker Reserve. Sorry, Ray, I still owe you one, mate, from last week.
Yeah,
the umpire lets play go on as Mackenzie, the big ruckman. He's the first one to trot after it, and he kicks it up towards the half-forward line for Doncaster. The ball holds up in the breeze right near that boundary line. Carlson might come in to lend some support, so to his Pryor. He got wrapped up in a tackle. The umpire will come in and bounce it. Mitcham players screaming for holding the ball, and they're going to be rewarded as well, so... Pryor, the player who probably just sat on it a little bit, and the umpire gave him ample time to probably look like he was trying to get the ball out, and now Mitcham will be able to stream through the middle of the ground. So the mark has been taken inside forward 50. The kick goes. Jarvis is in position A for Doncaster, and he goes up unattended and takes the mark, the big man.
Peduto's down behind the play. We'll keep an eye on it. I'm sure the Akira Urgent boundary riders, as the ball is kicked towards the boundary line, it was a wayward one, so we'll have a throw in 52 metres around from Mitcham's goal. Peduto in agony behind the play.
Boundary.
Let's go down to our boundary riders, thanks to Akira Urgent Care.
Yeah, Mark Emerson hasn't emerged from the Mitcham rooms at half-time. Scott Homewood did confirm his day is done and dusted.
Cross swings it round his body, kicks it to the hot spot, but chipping in to take the mark, as he has all afternoon, is Mackenzie. So Mackenzie clears it for Doncaster, looks to the runners who are streaming off half-back. It's taken by Fry. He's immediately manhandled, speaking like a German. Hand pass comes out. Chance now. It's picked up by Carlson for Doncaster. The umpire intervenes, and it's going to be a free kick to Mitcham, and the recipient looks as if it'll be Anthony Faulkner. So eventually the ball will come back to him. Faulkner can wheel around on his right foot here. It's a congested forward line for the Tigers, but he does just that. Kicks it to the hot spot. Jumping up was Schimmelbusch, who affected the spoil. It falls to ground level. Cross is waiting around the pack. Players diving on top of it. The ball's still in dispute. Anarchis picks it up, swings it round his body, dribbles it to half-back, but it's immediately kicked by Cross. Coming in from the side, Mackenzie couldn't quite take it, but it was well picked up by Anarchis, who clears for the Sharks, looks out wide. Flying high was Fry. He couldn't quite take it. Mitcham have the numbers on the boundary line. A swirling pass towards half-forward. Eventually kicked around the body by Miller. Didn't quite make the distance. A comedy of errors. A high ball. Deep in defence here for Doncaster, but they work it out. They have the runners. Chance for Carlson. He wants to draw a player and kick it towards a teammate. The ball obviously holding up in the breeze, and it didn't quite make it. So the mark's taken on centre wing by Andrew Buckenara. Kicks it towards centre half forward. They'll slow it down here, Mitcham. The mark's taken at centre half forward by Whitnish, who's been an effective player this afternoon for the Tigers. He could almost go back and kick this, BWS.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he'll get to the goal line, that's for sure.
Whitnish. Spencer Penny, a long ball. It won't quite make it. It sets sails towards goal, but it's rushed through for a behind. So a minor score, and Mitcham take the lead with that behind. They move on to 6-10-46. Doncaster 6-9-45.
In 4 minutes, we've had 6 inside 50s for Mitcham to 0.
And they've wasted every one of them,
exactly.
Because it's no point bombing the ball down there when you've got Big Maguire and Mackenzie down there. They're just punching the ball away.
Well, Mackenzie, he's taken the mark in the back pocket effectively. Arguably the best player on the ground to date. Gets it across to Schimmelbusch. Shimmies one, then sloppily kicks it up towards the wing position. Muller's in position A, gets a handball away to Anarchis, and now Doncaster are away. Kick up towards centre half forward. Thompson has to use his body well. Lou Machizi at the back of the pack. He's slow in his approach, but he's usually pretty clever. But Mitcham have the numbers, and they'll get the clearing kick out towards the wing position. Bouncing football over the boundary line. She goes. True centre wing position, right in front of the members stand out here at Walker Park, I should say. Ray Baird, I've been bagging you all year, and I've stuffed up already twice this afternoon as the umpire throws the ball in now. Mackenzie had the front spot, came down into the arms of Carlson, wrapped up there by Buckenara, and a good tackle, and we'll have a ball up only just outside the centre square here. It's going down at Doncaster's end. So Mackenzie got the good knockout there. Carlson will have the run on here. He might be able to take off. Swings around on the right boot. Bit of a banana kick to the top of the goal square. Thompson has to be clever enough. He boot the ball and he kicked a goal. What a miraculous kick by Nathan Thompson. He shrugged off his opponent in that time in Daniel Johnson. Used the one arm and banged it on his boot and got enough coverage to get over the goal line. What a goal, Ray Baird. Doncaster kicked their 7th for the afternoon. They hit the front by now 5 points. And Nathan Thompson kicks his 3rd.
Look, that was just sheer strength that got that goal. There was nothing whatsoever wrong with the tackle by Daniel Johnson. It was just the brute strength by Nathan Thompson. He swung himself around, put the ball to his boot, and somehow got it over the line.
So miraculous goal to Nathan Thompson, regains the lead for Doncaster. They lead up by 5 points early going in this 3rd term. Mackenzie wins the knockdown in the ruck contest. Lubachisi trying to ruffle in after the football. Anarchis eventually comes through. McNamara with the hand pass. Eventually it's taken by Pryor, who extracts it from the pack. His hand pass missed the mark. Charging through was Parker. There was an errant elbow, and as a result there'll be a free kick to Mitcham, taken by Glossop. So Glossop wheels round onto that right foot, kicks it long inside 50. Petrakis set himself, couldn't quite take the mark. He burrows in after the football, and the umpires picked out a free kick. It was a push in the back, and it looks as if McNamara will be the recipient for Doncaster.
I don't think Scott Homewood would be at all happy with the way the Mitcham side's putting the ball into their forward 50. They're just bombing it in there. They've got to lower their eyes and have a look for a teammate.
So Lumachese won the free kick. He almost took the mark in his own right. Just intends to slow the play up in the centre of the ground. That unorthodox technique towards centre half forward. Muller flew from behind on Nunziato. He couldn't quite take it. Chasing in after the football is Torn Henderson. That was great endeavour. Forces it over the boundary line. Only 45 metres out from Doncaster's goal. So early going in this third term, the intensity is certainly lifted in the third quarter.
Well, both sides have got a lot to play for, Damien. There's nothing in this game.
The hand pass was eventually cut off. That was Quilty. And the umpire comes in, calls for respite, and we'll have a ball up. So it's 55 metres around from Doncaster's goal. McKenzie wins the knockout. It was a clever tap to Lumachese, who hacks it inside 50, but a brilliant mark. Not paid to Nunziato. Anarchis extracts it, but a free kick's been picked out. And it's going to Mitcham. They were looking ominous there, the Sharks. But Nunziato takes the free kick deep in his defensive zone.
He has been fantastic for the Mitcham Footy Club down back today. He's been one player that can hold his head high.
Certainly has been rock solid. Raised the kick, goes up towards the wing position, tapping it on to his advantage. There was Faulkner. That was good play. Coming in for support. There was Cross on the right boot. Goes inside forward 50. Ball knocked away at the fall of the ball. Shimmerbush will get the first touch on it. Snap around the body there. This might have gone through. What a fantastic kick there. But the goal's been kicked by Anthony Faulkner. He just got it. He didn't even look at the goals, Ray Bear, but he banged it on his boot, and we've seen that a few times today. They know where the goals are, these players.
Yeah, look, they just pick it up, put the ball to boot, and they know exactly where the goals are. That's for sure. That was very good play by Mitcham, because they actually brought that ball right from out of the defensive back 50.
On the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, Mitcham leads 7-10-52. They've regained the lead by 1 point. It is only 7-9-51 for the Doncaster side. We've gone 8 minutes in this first term. Braden Ingram, some stats that matter thanks to Choose Tap.
Inside 50s, Mitcham 8 in favour of Mitcham, 8-3. Marks 2-1 inside 50 in favour of Mitcham. Effective tackles 3-4 in favour of Doncaster.
Peduto was indecisive, so he gave it off to Jarvis. Kicks to centre half forward. Thompson, strong, brute strength. Kicks it. Eventually he evades a couple of tacklers. Can run to 30 metres. His kick was high. It's hoisted. Torn Henderson goes up for the mark. He couldn't quite take it. Coming in was Quilty. He burrows in and forces it over the boundary line, deep inside the 450 for Doncaster.
I just felt Nathan Thompson took himself back 5 years and playing on like that and onto his left foot, and he just didn't get the ball properly to his foot. And if he'd have gone back, he might have kicked the goal.
Sure, you could do that in your halcyon days, Ray Baird, as it's taken by Anarchis. Snap around the corner, bounces through, a miraculous goal for the Sharks, and they regain the lead. They move on to 8-9-57. Mitcham 7-10-52 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. We've reached the 9-minute mark of this third term. It's an exciting one.
That was a perfect knockout by Big Maguire, the ruckman there, and I think that is one of the big bonuses to the Doncaster Football Club today. They've got that double team ruck going with McKenzie and Maguire, and they are dominating the clearances, I would think, Braden.
Yeah, sorry, give me 2 seconds. I'll get back to
there's goal for goal out here at Walker Park. I'll be the man to throw to the Choose Tap stats. Thank you, Ray Baird. Great game we're seeing out here. It's a 5-point margin, but there's plenty of other great games as you go local for your football. 21, in fact. And our man in white on the EFL media team, Brad Pulley, has all those scores.
Yeah, currently in Division 1 we have South Croydon in front by 28, East Burwood in front of Lilydale by 6, East Ringwood in front of Roval by 11, Noble in front of Knox by a whopping 85, Norwood by 1 point over Vermont at the moment, and Baldwin by 14 over Scoresby.
Well, Muller took the mark and he goes towards the Thompson direction. He nearly took it on the first bite. He hit the deck. Mitcham might get out of danger here. The scrambling kick goes into the middle of the ground and the mark has been safely taken too. So all of a sudden Muller to Thompson could have worked out another good goal for Doncaster as the ball goes up towards the half-back line. Bouncing football. McGarnis will be the first man to meet it. He had Morris right on his hammer. Got the handball over the top looking for Torn Henderson. It was a scrappy bit of play. Mitcham now might have the numbers across the half-forward line. They might link up in arms here. The kick by Batchelor. On goal! He kicks it straight. Oh. What a fantastic kick. Put it on your boot outside 50 out here at Walker Park, and it just might go through the big sticks. And another good answer there by the Mitcham Football Club. Once again, they regain the lead. It is by 1 point in the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 8-10-58 plays 8-9-57. 11 minutes gone, Ray Baird.
Yeah, look, it's also another case of just putting the ball on your foot and know where the goals were, because he did not even look where the goals were that time. Very, very well done by Batchelor.
Let's Cross down boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care to Paul Mercedes.
For the Mitcham side, with Mark Emerson not coming back on, as Frosty mentioned, Big Benny Morris has to go in the ruck. He's 6'6", but they probably need him up forward.
It's been a goal fest in this third term, and the lead currently with Mitcham by a solitary point, but it's been a ripper in this quarter. McKenzie won the tap out for Doncaster. Burrowing in there was McNamara. He couldn't quite free himself from the pack, and the umpire calls for a spite. We'll have a secondary bounce in the centre of the ground, but things hotting up at Walker Park. So the ball again set in motion. McKenzie wins the knockout. Burrowing in there for Mitcham was Buchanara. Tried to get the hand pass out. The ball eventually in dispute. It's picked up by Glossop. Hacks it inside 50, but only one man there to take the uncontested mark, and that was Jarvis for Doncaster. He immediately kicks out wide. Finds his teammate in Fry, hard up against the boundary line. He's in a confined space, but he's got options up forward. Eventually opts to kick it long against the breeze. It holds up in the air. It's hoisted high. Nunziato affects the spoil. Running onto it is his teammate there at Searle. He couldn't quite break the tackle. The kick comes forward inside 50. Pigdetaro was caught behind. And as a consequence, the mark is taken by Jarvis deep inside defensive 50 for Doncaster. He looks out wide and eventually finds his teammate in McKenzie. So McKenzie at half-back on the flank. Looks inboard. Fry takes the uncontested mark. Just slowing play down here, the Sharks. They've got a couple of loose men. They can chip the ball around on that outer wing. They've been content to do that a lot this afternoon. Looks into the centre. Mark taken by Marganis. So Marganis on centre wing. Wheels round onto the right foot, sends a proving kick towards half forward. Nunziato couldn't quite take the mark. Eventually the ball is picked up. Here's the hand pass, kick towards goal. It's low trajectory, but it's offline, terribly offline, and only a minus score. But that levels the scores at 8-10-58 apiece on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Yeah, that was Adam Fiora running into the open goal there. Probably 45 metres out, but he should have done better with the ball.
So it'll be Daniel Johnson for Mitcham to kick the ball a long way to it. Reaches every bit over the centre square. Picked up by Glossop. Kick goes inside forward 50. Guess who? Jarvis is back there. The big man. He's standing in a hole very nicely in this third term. Kicks the ball outside forward 50. That's an absolute shank of a kick, and I think the mark's been taken out there by Quilty.
He's going to go back and have a shot. Why not with this breeze, BWS?
Well, it's they need to go into this three-quarter time break, Ray Baird, no doubt, at least with a 3-goal margin. So Glossop in the long sleeves today kicks the ball long. It's a surging kick. It's right to the goal line. It might have gone through. In fact, it's touched the post. You wouldn't believe it. That is number 5 that's hit that post this afternoon. It is getting all the action down at the Maroondah Highway end of the ground. And Mitcham, unfortunately for them and all their supporters, they only moved to 59 on the scoreboard, the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, 8-11, taking on 8-10. It's a 1-point ball game, 14 minutes gone, third term. If
Mitcham are going to go into with 3-goal lead, as you just mentioned, BWS, they've got to change their style of play going into that forward 50. They're just bombing it in there and they're getting killed.
Schimmelbusch looks out wide and finds McKenzie on the half-back flank. That wind picking up, as you can hear through our effects mic, as the ball eventually trickles over the boundary line on the outer wing here at Walker Park. The umpire's picked out a free kick. It's going the way of the Sharks. And
let's head back to our man in white, Brad Pulley, with some more half-time scores.
All right, Division 2, North Ringwood in front by 2 points over Montrose. Donny East in front of Mulgrave by 11. Murrelbach in front of Croydon by 12. Bayswater now still in front of Upper Ferntree Gully by 26. And Donvale in front of Waverley Blues by 8.
So the hand pass comes out. Here's a chance for Quilty. The captain spears it inside 50. And he's found the target almost hard up against the boundary line. There'll be a shot on goal. It's an acute angle. But with the aid of the breeze, anything is possible at that Maroondah Highway end. And it's going to be taken by Chris Hogle, who can shoot for goal number 5.
It's been very good today, James Quilty, Raybaird.
Look, he's been fantastic.
Turn your microphone on, mate.
He's been fantastic, BWS. He's been one player that's put his body on the line, and he's not a big player.
So Chris Hogle will be shooting from about 40 metres out and facing only a 45-degree angle to contend with. Kicks for goal at the Maroondah Highway end. His kick is straight through the centre. Another one on the board for Mitcham. He's kicked truly. Let's head down to our Akira Urgent Care boundary riders.
No, nothing from us, Damo.
No, I was trying to tell you that this is his 5th goal for the afternoon. That was what the high 5 was for, Damo. But Braden Ingram's got some important stats that matter thanks to Choose Tap.
Yeah, really at the moment it's Mitcham. 15 inside 50s to 6, but they're not taking advantage of them. They've kicked 4 goals from them compared to Doncaster. From their 6, they've been able to kick 2.
Brad Pulley with Division 2 scores at half-time.
Yeah, Division 2 scores at half-time. We've only got North Ringwood over Montrose.
Oh, sorry, mate, you just did Division 2. Let's go with Division 3.
Division 3 at the moment. Wanty South over Ringwood by 26. Doncaster over Mitcham by 1 at half-time, as it was. Baronia over Templestowe by 20 at half-time. Warren died over Glen Waverley by 2 at half-time. The Basin 22 over Churnside Park back at half-time, and Whitehorse 13 over Heathmont at half-time.
Well, another point has been kicked by the Mitcham Football Club as Doncaster bring the ball out again. The mark's been taken by Parker, who's, I suppose, been relatively quiet in this game so far. The Petuto creates a bit of a lead, still in that defensive arc for Doncaster, takes the mark. Short passes on, that's okay. Cross down boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care to Paul Mercedes.
Just keep an eye on Fry, boys. He went down behind players at that last shot on goal and stayed down for a very long time, and the trainers all around him, but he got up and ran off, but he still doesn't look 100%.
Well, Fiora came in from the back and he took a really good mark too. He'll swing around on that familiar left boot and kick it inside forward 50, looking for the Thompson direction. He worked his way to the front. Lumacheesi at the fall of the ball, unorthodox in his style, got the handball away to Peduto. He has a searching handball. Nunziato chopped that up nicely, as he has done all afternoon. He's got a driving kick out towards the Andreetta direction. He has got 2 players to beat. Dippier Domenico's in there, so too is Pryor. Nice little tackle there. Dipper goes after it again. He got dumped in the tackle. He received the free kick. So Dylan Dippier Domenico will go back and have a... He's got players in the pocket all by themselves. The player is there, is Marcus Fry, the man we just talked about. Coming in from the side is Muller. Marcus Fry has been told he's given away a free kick. I think that is incredibly stiff. And not to mention a 25-metre penalty. So... Well, I'm not too sure what that was about, but I saw Michael Vozzo arrive at half-time, so he'll no doubt have had a look at that one as the kick goes into the middle of ground. Fiora in position A. He probably should have gone on with it, Aaron Fiora, because he has players all by themselves. And Narcus, why wouldn't you go there in the middle of Walker Park? I nearly did it again, Rays. He kicks it towards the Thompson direction, and he comes out and takes a mark only 45 metres out from goal. But you'd be expecting to be confident in his approach here because he is against the breeze, but he can kick every bit of 50 metres.
Well, 2 goals have already been kicked from this exact spot during the game in the first half, so there's no reason why he can't put this one through.
Well, if he was watching those kicks on goal, he'll know that he has to hang it out to the right-hand side and watch the wind take it right across into the middle. He's kicked 3 for the afternoon. 4 would be lovely, wouldn't it? 4 would be fantastic, right to the goal line, a bouncing football. If someone was the front and centre, they might have got boot to ball, but it gets rushed through for 1 behind. Doncaster on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. They inch closer, don't they? It's a 7-point ball game at the 18.5-minute mark. 8:11.59. Plays 9-12-66. Braden Ingram, thanks to Choose Tap.
Yeah, at the moment, disposal is definitely in favour of Doncaster. They've had 35 to Mitcham's 25, so at the moment it's just been very tight.
Johnson kicked that ball half the length of the field, but eventually Doncaster regained possession from the half-back line. The kick up towards the half-forward flank on the outer side of the ground. Muller's running after it. Eventually the tackle comes. Muller regains it. He's taken down by Quilty. Fed the hand pass in the Peduto direction, but couldn't quite find him. And the ball trickles out of play 70 metres around for the Doncaster goal.
Brad Pulley with some more around the ground scores.
Yeah, we'll go into Division 4, fellas. Park Orchards over Canterbury by 51 at half-time. South Belgrave a whopper 89 over Coldstream at half-time. Ferntree Gully 29 over Sylvan at half-time. Forest Hill by 8 over Surrey Park at half-time. And Eastern Lions by 10 over Nunawading at half-time.
So Pryor was taken to ground, and as a consequence the umpire has opted to ball it up. 55 out from the Doncaster goal. The tap is won by Mackenzie. Pryor again trying to extract himself from the pack, and he was taken high according to the umpire. So Pryor, against the breeze, he won't have a chance, but he can try and pass it off in the Thompson direction. He's against
Good
2,
lead.
but he led out brilliantly, judged the ball to perfection, and he can go back and have a shot from 40 metres. This is really his bread and butter, Ray Baird.
Look, what they do it very well. They put the ball out in front of him so he doesn't have to break his stride, and he's got such long arms, he's a big man, and the defenders have got no chance whatsoever of getting the ball.
At the moment, Doncaster marks inside 54 to 1 this quarter.
Braden Ingram, thanks to Choose Tap with those statistics. Nathan Thompson lining up for his 4th major. The kick is on the way and it drifts off to the right, so only a minor score. And Doncaster 8-12-60, closing in on Mitcham 9-12-66 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. We've gone 20 minutes in this third term.
Big opportunities for Doncaster gone to miss, Ray.
Yeah, look, they're wasting some opportunities again in this quarter. Look, they've had the ball probably inside their forward 50 more so than Mitcham would have this quarter, I think.
Well, Johnson goes out to the cross direction. I think Cross has been fantastic today for the Mitcham Football Club. His short passes on, that's okay. He might go for the 1-2 here, and he does. In the middle of the ground, driving kick up towards centre half forward. Good mark on the second bite. That has been taken there by Faulkner. Swings around on the right boot, kicks it towards the true centre half forward position. No one could quite take the mark, so Doncaster at the fall of the ball have the numbers, kicked out towards the Carlson direction. He had a strong lead going on centre wing position, takes it, swings around now on the right boot. Maguire presents a lead to centre half forward, ignores that, goes towards the direction of Thompson, and why wouldn't you? He'd just been in great form as the ball's been fisted away, and Mark tried to be claimed there by Glossop. Umpire, non-officiating umpire coming in and saying that it was a mark there to Jackson Glossop on the second bite, so good to see the umpires got each other's back out here today at Walker Park. And the kick goes in towards the middle of the ground. It's been marked there by Jules Petrarca. Kicks it up towards centre half forward. That's okay. Mark has been taken out there by Pignataro. Swings around on the right boot inside forward 50. Bouncing football. Jarvis thinks... Boundary. Don't know what Jarvis is asking for. You can't call that deliberate big Jarv. But over she goes for a boundary throwing about 20 metres out from goal. Peter Baird's got some goss down boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care.
Nah, the Mitcham forward, they need to get more out of Ben Morris down there. He's 6'6". It's not prepared to put his body on the line and really take that hit in the marking contest. For a man that size, just needs to work harder and put his body on the line more.
Really missing the special comments today, Peter Baird, as the ball has been thrown back in. And we'll have another stoppage about 35 metres out from goal. Pye starts it again. Nice knockdown by Mackenzie. Tried to be picked up by Dippy Domenico. His kick was half smothered. He went after it again, but it got brought down in a tackle. So 45 metres out from the Mitcham goal line here.
It's interesting, they've dropped a loose player back, Nunziato for Mitcham.
He's had a good game too, Peduto at the fall of ball. He couldn't quite trap but he had support there in Richie McNamara, who came in and bounced the ball, kicked it up towards the wing position, bouncing football. He wanted the boundary line, and he's going to get it too, because an unfavourable bounce to Nunziato sees it go over the boundary line and out.
It has been an interesting contest, hasn't it?
Oh, it's been a great game so far. Only 6 points is the margin. 23 minutes gone here in the third term. Dubbed as the premiership quarter as the umpire throws it in. Big fly over the back by Melder. He got that knocked down. No one's going to win the clearance though, and we'll have another bounce.
I mean, this is certainly playing into Doncaster's hands at the moment. They don't care how many stoppages we have for the rest of this quarter.
Muller and Thompson, the two-pronged attack in the Doncaster 50. They're the only players in there. And Narcus affects the spoil on the outer wing. Diving in after the football was Maguire for the Sharks, but Mitcham have too many numbers. The kick towards centre half forward for the Tigers. Over the head of the intended targeting Glossop. And as a consequence, Doncaster can run the ball away in the Thompson direction. He flies. Couldn't quite hold it. Muller at the back fighting for the football with Nunziato. Eventually it comes to Cross, tried to burrow his way through, but a brilliant tackle effected by Lumachese, and he forces the ball up.
You don't reckon it was high?
Well, the intensity's high. I don't think that tackle was high, though. So the ball up once again. Lumachese was dumped to the ground. Umpire calls play on. Carlson provides a tackle, but the umpire adjudges that it was in the back.
Lumachese wasn't happy that he got done, so he went in a little bit hard then, I think.
Yeah, boundary. Gang tackle. Let's go down to our boundary riders, thanks to Akira Urgent Care.
The Mitcham natives down here are getting very, very restless late in this quarter. A lot of excitement building on the other side of the fence.
Halstead Wild took the 25-metre penalty. His kick, however, went astray, and the mark taken by Schimmelbusch uncontested in the defensive 45 for Doncaster. He looks out wide, finds a teammate in Maguire, spears the pass to McNamara, who takes it right on the outer wing.
Well, they really want to slow it down, don't they?
They do, and they've got options in the centre. The mark taken by Dippy Domenico. Of course, the son of Robert, a Hawthorn Premiership player, looks inboard. The mark taken by Mackenzie. Just content to slow it down. Let's head to Braden Ingram, thanks to Choose Tap.
Key stat at the moment for me, 6 intercept marks inside the Mitcham forward 50 at the moment.
Oh, reverse free kick here.
That was paid against Lumachese down here in his forward 50, boys.
Well, Cross went out wide, and the mark has been taken out there by Robbie Petrarca. He'll wind around now on the right boot. He'll kick it to the hot spot. There'll be a pack form at the top of the goal square. Who's going to be there? McGarna's got the ball. Stab around the body there by Pignataro. Straight over the goal umpire's head, and Mitcham have got their 10th goal on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, stretching their lead to 2 goals and a very handy 12 points. Ray Baird at the 26-minute mark of this third term is 10-12, playing 8-12.
That was a perfect crumbing there by the pig. Look, he got front and centre, the ball from the pack, several players up there, and it came down, and he just snapped it over his shoulder. But it should have been happening in this quarter earlier on, because they have just wasted so many opportunities by bombing the ball down to there to no avail.
Well, we have the pig at one end and the cheese at the other, certainly exerting their influences on the game, but that is a crucial goal. And Mitcham have a 2-goal buffer. McKenzie won the knockout, taken by Lumachese, wins the clearance, hacks it inside the 45 for Doncaster. The bounce towards the boundary line. It was misjudged by Glossop. Hand pass from Muller onto Fiora. He settles from 45, but it's off target. And a minor score to the left of the goal face. And it's an 11-point margin to Mitcham.
It's been something that's let him down for a long time, Aaron Fiore's disposal, Ray.
Yeah, look, another opportunity. He's had probably 3 opportunities this quarter to score goals, and he's missed every one of them.
Well, the man who's seen a lot of Aaron Fiore is Peter Baird, and he's on the boundary line thanks to Akira Urgent Care.
I was just going to say, spoken like a true St Kilda supporter there, BWS.
The ball's on the wing position, coming in there. Hard there was Andriato, tried to break the tackle, eventually did so. Looking for Glossop in the long sleeves, get down. Doesn't get dirty, but the umpire says we'll have a ball up on wing position. He's had a good game too, Glossop. I've been impressed with his endeavour this afternoon. The umpire, quick to restart things. McKenzie at the over the back there. Whitnish got a little handle on it. Fiora is the first player to go after the ball, and over the boundary line she goes once again, right in front of the Mitcham interchange bench. They're a feisty lot down there, the Tiger faithful. They love their club, and they're a fantastic club too, the Mitcham Football Club, but don't discount Doncaster yet as Tawn Henderson drives the ball inside forward, 50 to Thompson. Now that is how you use your body. Handball over the top to Muller, at the top of the goal square. He'll get the answer that Doncaster are after, and he pokes it through and reduces the margin only back to a 5-point ball game. This is an absolute cracker, yes. Damien Watson. What a time to stand up and call your first game today. Bendigo Bank scoreboard shows 10-12-72 Mitcham. Doncaster 9 goals, 13-67. We've gone 27.5 minutes, Ray Baird.
Yeah, look, it was once again, it was just the sheer strength of Nathan Thompson in the marking contest. He got rid of Johnson right at the right moment. He's marked the ball, and of course all the Mitcham players stopped, and he's handball the ball over, and Muller's snapped the goal running into the goal square.
So Muller and Thompson with 3 goals apiece for Doncaster, and they're looking deadly. It's a 5-point ball game in favour of the Tigers. The tap is won though by Melder for the Mitcham Football Club. Burrowing in was Lumachese. Got his hand pass out. Dippietta Medico was manhandled. Fiora dives on top of the football, and the umpire has called for a stalemate on centre wing. And really, it's been a high-intensity game, particularly in this third term, and no side has gained the advantage.
It's been a cracker from the outset, let's face it.
So the bounce, again, just a bit of a scuffle off the play, but the ball again set in motion. Melder won the tap, but to no avail because the 3/4 time siren is gone, and we're set for a grandstand finish at Walker Park. It's Mitcham 10-12-72, leading Doncaster by a slender 5 points, 9-13-67.
Hope you're enjoying EFL Game Day. It's an absolute cracker. Get down here for 1
minutes of football to prove it.
And just for the Doncaster side, Andrew Trenkel didn't want to have a chat to us, politely declined the offer, but he used the term, let's throw caution to the wind, which makes a lot of sense on a day like today.
Thank you, Paul Simmercetti's. Damien Watson, you have the final term.
Underway in the final quarter, and the clearance is won by Mitcham through the aid of Andriatta, but they've turned it over again. Fryer gives a hand pass to Fiora for Doncaster. Couldn't quite break the tackle. Eventually gives it back to his teammate Dippia Domenico. Sends the hand pass on to Baduto. A proving kick inside the 50, and he's found that man, Nathan Thompson, on the lead, and he can go back and have a shot from just outside 45 metres, and the signs are ominous early in the final term, Ray Baird.
Yeah, look, it's a start that Andrew Tranquilli would want. If he can slot a goal here, they're going to be hard to stop. It's even at this stage of the quarter.
And Braden Ingram quickly, choose tap.
Yeah, just some stats from that third term. Hit-outs, Doncaster 12-8. Clearances 5-4 in favour of Doncaster. And the inside 50s 14-20 in favour of Mitcham.
Nathan Thompson set sail from 50 metres. It looks pretty good. First goal of the final term to Doncaster. They regain the lead. They move on to 10-13-73. Mitcham 10-12-72 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Early going in this thrilling final term.
And it's certainly the start that the Doncaster side needed. And Nathan Thompson, look, when he got onto that one, and that was a fantastic goal.
So a great game we've got on our hands here in Doncaster. They regain the lead by 1 point. They had the breeze, so you'd say that they'd probably be favourites to take this game out.
Yeah, they would be, but then that teams have played better against the Breeze, I feel.
So the ball in the back of the middle of the ground. Taylor on the right boot, swings around and bangs it on his boot inside forward 50 or nearabouts. Schimmelbusch should be the first player to meet it for Doncaster. Little handball out towards Fiora. Goes out towards McGarnis. They've linked up well across the half-back line there. The Doncaster backs. Kicks up towards the wing position. It was intended for Carlson. Coming through there is Whitnish. Gets a little handball away. That was okay. Nunziato had to break one tackle. Had to break two. Got a little handball out wide. It wasn't too crash shot. And over the boundary line she goes.
Oh, Muller having a bit of a go. He's been in the thick of things all day, hasn't he, Ray?
Yeah, look, he's been a very good player for them, and he's kicked 3 goals as well.
So the umpire to bring the ball back in now. It'll be Melder over the back of the pack, got the knockdown. Glossop on the left boot, kicks it in towards the middle of the ground. It'll be a bouncing football. He'll be the first one to meet this here. Mitcham have got the numbers here. In fact, that was Glossop. It must have been Quilty in the other long sleeves. They got the ball away, kicked up forward there by Pignataro. Inside forward 50, the ball goes now. It's a 2-on-2 situation at the fall of the ball. Chris Hogle, the clever man, gets a handball over the clock. He was looking for Faulkner, but in comes Schimmelbusch, the general. He's been super all afternoon. A short pass is on, and the mark has been taken across the half-back line there by Maguire, who swings around now on the right boot, dumps the ball up towards centre forward. What a fly by Thompson over the back of the pack. He took it on his chest, but he was the third man up. He crunched his own player as well in the process, and he looks pretty confident that he might be able to go back and absolutely bang this one through. He'll kick it from every bit of 55 metres out. He's wasting no time either. So Nathan Thompson, who's already for the day kicked 4 goals, this will make it number 5, and he can match the counterpart at the other end. It's a thumping kick to the top of the goal square. Who'll be the flyer at the back of the pack? Bouncing football. Over she goes and over the boundary line and out of bounds. Only 20 metres out. Right forward pocket for Doncaster, eh?
That was a huge big mark for Nathan Thompson, but unfortunately for Doncaster, he's taken one of his teammates out, and his teammate's still on the ground. With trainers there, he doesn't look too good.
So the umpire to bring the ball back in. Luma Cheesy goes up in the ruck. He might get it on the second bite. Nearly tried to get a little handball out. The Tigers, they have the numbers. Scrambly kick out towards a Glossop direction. He had to use his body. He had to be clever enough, and he was. He's been super all afternoon. Got the handball away. Now Mitcham up towards the half-forward line. The kick up towards Pignataro. Tried to play for a free kick. He earned it too. It wasn't there, but the umpire said advantage paid. It should have been advantage paid because running onto it was Morris, and he probably would have kicked a goal, but Johnny Pignataro will have, well, the ball about 55 metres out from goal. The kick into the breeze. I'd say distance will be a problem here, Abed.
Yeah, look, and with that advantage there that the umpire didn't call, he did stop the play straight away.
So, well, they've obviously listened to your rant by not paying that advantage as the kick goes inside forward 50 now. Well done, Pignataro. He spotted up a teammate only about 45 metres out in Whitnish, who kicked an absolute ripper goal in that first term. No doubt will probably make a bit of a play for EFL Play of the Week. So Whitnish, big kick, huge kick. Kicks it to the top of the square, and it's a percentage kick as well. McKenzie comes over the back. He took the first bite on it, but he received a free kick as well. So I'm not too sure what that was for. But Paul Samusidis might have seen it or seen something else.
Yeah, I've just got word, boys. There's a little bit of a downpour just starting in the Watsonia area, so we might get that in about 5 to 10 minutes.
Very nicely done. The meteorologist on the boundary line today, thanks to Akira Urgent Care, as the mark's been taken by McNamara across the half-back line here. Members side, crowd really getting into this game as the kick goes up towards the half-forward line. Muller was the man that goes up. Nunziato at the fall of the ball got the little handball away. That was okay, playing for a free kick and receiving it there. Mitcham get it, and I think it's going the way of Petrarca. Now on the right boot, switches the play. The ball holds up in the breeze. It was intended out there for Miller. Bouncing football. Lumasisi's on his hammer, and will have a boundary throwing about 60 metres out from the Doncaster end.
Yeah, look, I just feel at this stage of the game that Doncaster are playing the better football, and I feel that if Mitcham's going to win this game, they've just got to bite the bullet and go down the corridor.
So the Sharks by a solitary point. Taking the ball from the pack was Anarchis. He read it well. In turn, he hoists it high inside the 45. Muller is camped underneath it. It's punched to ground. Faulkner gave the hand pass to his teammate in Glossop, whose kick went astray because he's turned it straight over and in the centre. McKenzie took the mark. He lopes away, chips it towards the members' wing. The kick wasn't quite crash hot there for his teammate in Fry, but he tapped it on to the advantage of a teammate in Muller. Cross evades a couple of tacklers for Mitcham. He effected the turnover, kicks it towards half forward. It holds up in the breeze again, and judging it the better was Ewan McKenzie, who's been rock solid all afternoon. He effects the switch, looks out wide. They've got a chance now. Doncaster through Dippia to Medico. Sends a long ball towards goal. Set sail for goal. It was Maguire, in fact, and he's kicked it and Doncaster now have a 7-point buffer. They move on to 11-13-79. Mitcham 10-12-72 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Yeah, and that was a great goal there by Maguire, but it was also good play by McKenzie, the other big man in the Doncaster side, by getting the ball across to him. And boy, look, Mitcham certainly got their work ahead of him.
Let's head around the grounds. Thanks to thanks to Ben Waterworth.
Upper Ferntree Gully going down to Division 3 next year, boys. Upper Ferntree Gully went down today. Bayswater 50 defeating Upper Ferntree Gully 41.
Jeez,
very close encounter.
That's a short game, isn't
it? It's a very short game. It's a low-scoring game. Only about 13 goals between the kick between the two sides. So Upper Ferntree Gully going down to Division 3 next year.
And Andy Heyman's last match as well, as the ball's back in the middle of the ground. And Arcus tried to trap it, but it was stolen there by Cross. Bangs it on his boot across the half-forward line. The umpire said play on. This time it was picked up there. I think that time was Holstein Wild. Bangs it on his boot inside 450, looking for the pig at the fall. The ball nearly taking the mark there was Parker, and he couldn't quite trap it, so over the boundary line she goes. But no, the player's screaming for
Pignataro's trying to con the umpire here.
No, it's certainly not going to happen, and there's a fair contingency over there in that forward pocket, which no doubt will have given a little bit of advice to the umpire, but they stayed strong. McGarness goes up in the ruck. He got a good fist on that one. Gets it out of that danger zone. Mackenzie's out there for Doncaster, and Narcus comes in. He might be able to get a kick on ball. Goes inside forward 50. Thompson's got the back spot. The ball needs to wrong it for him. Mullen might have not to sit up nicely for Lumachisi, who gets it across to Fry, who slams around the body and puts it straight over the goal umpire's head. Fantastic bit of play there by Doncaster. They get 2 in a row, and on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard they skip away to a very handy 13-point lead. 12-13, 85 plays 10-12-72. 8 minutes gone in the final term in this match, Ray Red.
Look, they're going to be hard to stop Doncaster now. They took that from the point post down in defence from a boundary throw in, and they put the ball right forward, coast to coast, and they're certainly going to be hard to stop.
Well, this game's had so many twists and turns throughout the afternoon. Could Doncaster run away with it? Be interesting to see. Let's head over to Braden Ingram, thanks to Choose Tap.
Clearances 3-all, both sides. Inside 50s, Doncaster 7 to Mitcham 4, and intercept marks 2 to Doncaster. Mitcham's 0.
Well, they're taking a while to retrieve the football from the car park. It's been a problem in that Maroondah Highway end all day, but they'll get a new football on the field.
Boys, just looking at the above the scoreboard, could there be any more blokes in the in the scoreboard box? There's about 40 blokes in there. I swear to God, they're packed in there tight. They want to see a Mitcham victory, but Doncaster coming strong here.
They'll bring it down if Mitcham can get in front in this last term, that's for sure. A fantastic game that we're seeing on our hands, Dave, mate.
Certainly is. The Mitcham hub down there. They want to lift their side. The ball back in the centre. The ball's still in dispute, trying to evade the tackle. It's successful was Rob Petrarca. Wins the clearance for the Tigers. Kick inside 50. The mark dropped there by Pignataro, but he retrieves the footy. Tries to give the don't argue. Couldn't break the tackle. Shimmerbush sends the hand pass out to his teammate McKenzie, who finds Anarchus on the bounce. The ball eventually sits for him. Gives the hand pass back to Shimmerbush. Loops it over the top to Peduto. He's found space on that outer wing. Peduto chips the pass. Finds his teammate in Polakis, who takes it out in front. Wheels around onto that right foot. A probing kick inside the 50. Flying high there was McNamara. He couldn't take it. Quilty tried to slap the ball away. Picked up by Lumachisi. Did well to evade a couple of tackles. Brilliant vision. Finds his teammate in Maguire. He can go back and have a shot. It was all deliberate. It was all deliberate. He's a star, Lumachisi, and Maguire can go back and have a crucial shot on goal to give Doncaster a 19-point buffer.
The inside 50s are fairly even here, 7-5. I just wonder if the wind's died down at all.
Braden Ingram, thanks to Choose Tap. Maguire was quick to give his shot on goal, but I think he's kicked it off to the left. No, it's a goal.
It's gone through.
It's a goal, so a Doncaster 19-point lead. He made the goal umpire work, but the Sharks move on 13-13-91. Mitcham 10-12-72 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Let's cross boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care.
Yeah, Braden, you reckon the wind's died down? You're kidding yourself. It's about -3 degrees down here in the breeze.
Well, boys, I'll tell you what, it's nice and warm up here. I wasn't saying whether it had. I was just questioning, just wondering, just wanted to get a little word, but it clearly
well, there's your
hasn't.
answer.
Well, I'll back you up a little bit here, Braden, because I've walked out at each change and I do think it has died down. If you look at the trees across the other side of Walker Park, they aren't even moving, so the ball's in the middle of the ground. Mitcham, they might be able to trap this through here through Whitnish. He does it now across the half back line, kicks it out towards the wing position. They're not done with that. The Tigers. Great mark has been taken in there by Batchelor inside forward 50. The kick goes and finds its target in Pignataro, who comes out. He's presented really well today. It might just be beyond his range. He may as well just have a ping, but Jarvis is standing on the goal line, so he wants someone to get back there to put up a challenge. The kick goes in that direction now. Right forward pocket. McGarnis just knows what to do. He knows to put the fist on ball, and through she goes for one behind. And on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, it is Mitcham 10-13-78, trailing by a fair way, 3 goals. It's Doncaster 13-13-91 as we're having a bounce at the top of the goal square as the kick in by Aaron Fiora went over the mark of the goal square. So 10 metres out. We'll cross to Ben Waterworth very shortly with some important around the ground scores, but hot footy at the top of the Mitcham goal square as the umpire throws the ball up now. Jarvis, he got a decent old knock away too. Came out towards the Anarchis direction. He has been absolutely brilliant this afternoon, Chris Anarchis. He has 2 bounces. He might go for the 3rd. He does so. Now on the right boot, drives the ball up towards the wing position. That's a good kick too. Doncaster away here inside forward 50. Thompson creates a lead. Got a little bit of a shove. Maybe he did play for it. Lumachese at the back of the pack has to tackle Glossop, but Glossop swings around on the right boot, bangs the ball into the middle of the ground. Anarchis was the player to fly at the fall of the ball there too. Julian Petrarca, the umpire might pay advantage paid here, but it'll be a free kick to Doncaster, so the ball will come back, and we're about 70 metres out from the Doncaster goal line here. Chris Zanarkis has the football. He's going back as if he might actually have a shot here, but there's absolutely no way he can make this distance, so you expect him probably just to pop it up into the hotspot, and the hotspot is the place to go, but nobody was home though. Miller takes the mark. He switches the ball out now towards the members wing at the back of the pack there, standing strong, and standing in front is Turcarelli. He's been painted as the man in front. Surely the umpire said no. Everyone had a little bit of it there. McGarnis is pretty happy with that because he was a man behind, and he says we'll have a bounce as the umpire starts it once again. Jarvis came in from the side. He won that one. Quick kick by Mitcham goes out of bounds on the full or close enough to the boundary line. Oh, very nicely done and taken by Whitnish there in the yellow boots this afternoon. Looks like he wants to go on with it, so does so now on the left boot inside forward 50, looking for Pignataro with the one hand. He needs to take off. He needs to kick a goal. He needs to put it through, and he doesn't. He pushes it to the left-hand side. So Mitcham kick another behind on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, and at the 13.5-minute mark, they move to 10 goals, 14-74. Doncaster 13-13-91. What a fantastic game we're seeing here, but Ben Waterworth knows all what's happening in all those other fantastic games.
There's a couple of nail-biters going on in Division 2. Mulgrave up by 4 points over Doncaster East late, and Montrose and North Ringwood locked at 80 apiece, 20-minute mark of the final quarter.
So the ball retrieved for Mitcham there by Petrarca. He gives it off to his brother, in fact. Rob Petrarca retrieves the football. He's 70 metres out. Spears it inside 50. At the back, the mark is dropped down there by Faulkner. Eventually it's kicked and sent it to the goal square. Brilliant mark over the top. Johnny Pignataro. He's been the X-factor in this final term, and he can finally slot his 3rd goal from directly in front, and he's only 10 metres out.
Jeez, he's tried hard.
This can put Mitcham back into the game. He comes in, deliberate approach, straight through the centre. The Mitcham flags go up. The margin back to 11 points. It's the Tigers 11-14-80, trailing Doncaster 13-13-91. We're halfway through the final term.
Clearances are very even at the moment, boys, but the dominance in the ruck is being showed out for Doncaster. They're leading the hit-outs there at 10-2.
Hope you're enjoying the broadcast today of EFL Gameday. It's an 11-point margin to the Doncaster Football Club. Gentlemen, we need to start thinking about our Fantry Gully player of the day. Paul Semasides will judge the Trojan workhorse player of the day today. So just thought I'd throw that on him while he looks at me from the boundary line.
Johnny Pignataro got the credits for the goal, but it was a little chip kick by Chris Hogle from the boundary line that got it to him.
You can already hear him asking Peter Baird who it should be as the ball's back in the middle of the ground. Jarvis goes up. Bouncing football across the half-forward line for Doncaster. Peduto, 50 metres out from goal. This should be an answer. Kicks it up towards the Thompson direction. Fisted over the way from him. Glossop sees it through for one behind. So minor score to the Doncaster Football Club, pushing the margin back out to 12 points here. Mitcham know that they will have only got probably less than half a quarter here. 15.5 minutes gone as they drive the ball out towards the members' wing. Who'll be the player to fly for that? Rob Petrarca on the second bite gets a handball away. They're doing okay here. Mitcham kick up towards the half-forward line. The ball just needs to sit now for Faulkner on the right boot. He probably had a little bit more time than what he thought. Kicks the ball inside forward 50. The handball was given away. Doncaster through the arms of Fiora now. He gets a handball across into the middle of the ground. They're going to link up okay, but it was stolen there by Chaka. Got the handball across there to Miller on the right boot. Kicks the ball inside forward 50. It's a one-on-one situation, and the mark being taken by the Pignataro. Well, I won't call him the pig. He's the Johnny Pignataro, and he's been absolutely fantastic, especially in this last term. They needed a spark. They need someone to present, and he's not giving in anything, Johnny Pignataro, and he just needs to put the score on the board because they're in contention. They're right in contention. He needs to put it through, and he certainly does. They watch the stand come alive here out at Walker Park. Mitcham are right in this game. It's a one-goal ball game. 16 and a half minutes gone on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 12 goals, 14, 86 Mitcham. Doncaster 13, 14, 92. Peter Baird, thanks to Akira Urgent Care.
The Mitcham supporters here on the boundary, they're getting a sniff here. They're getting right behind their boys. It might be the X factor the Tigers need to get them up and over the line.
Which way do you see it happening, Pete?
I'm sticking with the Sharks.
Well, the home crowd will certainly have a say in the result. And Mitcham fighting back. They're only a goal in arrears at the moment. Pignataro providing the X factor in that Tiger forward line. The ball back in the centre. They can win the clearance again over the footballers. McKenzie can't quite get it out. Eventually it's fished out. Fiora taken down by a few Tigers. And he wins the free kick for a high tackle. It was a dubious one, but probably there. So Fiora, defensive side of centre wing, can wheel around on his left foot. The AFL veteran sends it long inside 50. An uncontested mark is taken by Torn Henderson. That was lax defence by the Mitcham Football Club, and Torn Henderson can have a shot on goal, Ray Baird.
Yeah, that was a perfect kick by Fiora.
Yep.
He knew what he was doing. He was looking for his teammate, and he hit him fair and square on the chest.
I'm sorry, mate. That was not a perfect kick. It was an absolute sloppy floater that landed in the arms of Torn Henderson.
So Torn Henderson in just his 4th game for the club from 40 metres. He's hoisted it high. Is it straight? Made the goal umpire work, but it's a steadier for the Doncaster Football Club. They move on to 14-14, 98. Mitcham at 12-14, 86. It's a 2-goal ball game halfway through the final term on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
And I'll say it again, that goal came because it was a perfect kick by Adam Furlong.
Great stuff, Ray Baird. No, 18 minutes gone here in the...
Oh, they're getting vocal, aren't they?
So the ball's coming back into the middle of the ground here. 18 and a half minutes gone. They are really firing up, the Doncaster faithful, as Umpire throws it up. Mitcham, can they answer again? They've been so good at doing it all day. The clearance goes to them. Bouncing football. It goes for a little bit of a wrong and member side here. Picked up nicely and kicked inside forward 50 towards the Pignataro direction, coming through and over the top Schimmelbusch. The umpire has seen a free kick for a little bit of shepherding, so it'll go the way that time of Parker. Goes back to Fiora, who goes back even further. But they've got the players. They'll bring the switch back out. Richie McNamara takes a mark about 50 metres out from the Mitcham goal line. No point slowing things down too much at this stage, boys. You've got to put the score on the board as the driving kick goes up towards the wing position at the back of the pack. It'll be Nunziato, who is the first player there. Nunziato, I should say, who was the first player there. But Carlson, he's quick, he's hot to trot, gets a little handball away. He was dispossessed. That was good play there. Getting back and keeping the ball alive. Nicely done there by Cross. The umpire said no. You've been pinged at Miller for holding the ball. And the umpire said it can be play on as well. Advantage inside forward 50. And the mark has been taken by Dippy at Domenico about 40 metres out from goal. He'll kick from a 45-degree angle. In fact, it's Palakas who'll have this shot. And this is an important kick. Like so many have been, Ray Baird, but we've got a very close margin. 3 goals might be enough if he can put this one through.
Look, if he kicks this one, it shut the gate for Mitcham.
So Palakas comes in now. He's kicked 1 goal already. This will make it 2. Clever footballer. Leans over the ball. The goal umpire does not move. Straight over his head for his 2nd goal. Doncaster kick their 15th of the afternoon on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. They move at the 20-minute mark. We're almost crossing time on. 15-14, 104. 12-14, 86 is the Mitcham Football Club. As Ray Baird said, Peter Baird's about to put the dress on.
Scary. You caught me offhand, and I've just thought about that. But no, look,
just thought about it.
It's a mental image in his head.
Every time Mitcham's challenged Doncaster in this quarter, they've had the ability to come back and score another goal. And look, and they've gone out to this lead. They're not going to surrender this lead now.
Do or die for Mitcham. Doncaster have a free goal break. Anarchis almost won the clearance, but it's taken by Petrarca. Tried to give the Donagi to Lumachisi, but he had none of that, the big cheese, and he won it again. Backs the kick inside 50. Thompson at the front position. Couldn't quite hold on to it. Miller feeds the hand pass out to Nunziato. Dibwell was composed under pressure, but he almost turned it over. Fry came in. It's kicked off the ground by Quilty, looking for the sanctity of the boundary line. Eventually it's bundled over by McNamara for Doncaster, with the ball in 50 metres out from the Sharks' goal.
And there's some very tired boys in both teams out there. Just have a look at them.
Yeah, fatigue could be a factor in this final term. The ball thrown in once again. It's won by Milder for Mitcham, trying to twirl his way out of trouble was Buchanara. He couldn't. Hand pass is fed out to Fry. Feeds it back to Peduto. Now Anarchis receives the hand pass. Hard up against the boundary line. He's almost split the middle. It hit the padding of the post. That's the 6th poster at the Maroondah Highway end. 19-point lead to Doncaster. 21.5 minutes gone. Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Ray?
Yeah, look, Doncaster, they're doing everything right at the moment. Look, they don't mind if there's stoppages or whatever, but when they have the ball, they control the game.
Well, hats off to Mitcham because they are driving the ball long. This is Miller, kicked it out towards the witness direction. Peduto's at the fall of the ball, so too is McKenzie, the big man, getting down and getting the hard ball continuously this afternoon. He got booed the ball out towards the wing position here. Coming in there is Fiora, got the little handball back. It was intended for his teammate in Tawn Henderson. The umpire said it was over the boundary line and out of bounds, half-forward line for Doncaster.
And we got some cars leaving the ground, boys. What supporters would they be from?
Well, there are some big cars too, so they might be heavily packed, Ray. So they haven't left the ground just yet, mate. They might come back for you as the kick goes up towards Anarchis, who takes it. Been absolutely really impressed with this game today, Anarchis. Works tirelessly across the ground. He's got great skills too, especially for a Division 3 footballer, as the kick goes inside forward 50 and comes out towards the Maguire direction. He slams it on his boot, and out of nowhere he just puts it over the goal umpire's head. It stayed flat in its approach, but it went straight, and he puts through Doncaster's 16th goal on the board. They're running away with this one now. You'd expect them to finish on, well, they will finish on top of the ladder if they win this game, Damien Watson. 16 goals 15, 111, 12 goals 14, 86, 23 minutes gone in this final term. Ray Baird, the Sharks finish on top in season 2013.
They have, and what a last quarter by Maguire. I think he's kicked his 3 goals in the last quarter, at least 2 of them anyway, and he certainly stood up. As they say, big boys don't get any shorter as the game goes on.
So an unassailable 25-point lead to Doncaster, you would think, as we hit the 23-minute mark of this final term. Back in the centre, McKenzie won the knockout for Doncaster. Eventually we'll have a secondary bounce. Let's head down to the boundary line, thanks to Akira Urgent Care. Yeah,
BWS, you just mentioned Doncaster will finish on top. That will be dependent upon how much Wantirna South win by and maybe overtake them by percentage.
What a surprise. I wouldn't have thrown down to you. I knew you were going to say that. Braden Ingram, choose tap stats.
Yeah, just looking at the total fourth quarters won here. Before this game, Mitcham had won 14 compared to Doncaster 10. Mitcham predominantly were the better side in the fourth quarter, but Doncaster have shown up today. They've kicked 7 here in this final term so far.
Braden Ingram, thanks to Choose Tap, providing fantastic statistics so far today. The bounce almost eluded Dippy Medico for Doncaster, but he's got the space and time to retrieve it. On the half-back flank, Dippy Medico goes long towards half-forward. Muller couldn't quite get there in time, and chipping in by the looks of it is Batchelor for Mitcham. He looks inboard, finds Petrarca, wheels around on that left foot, spears it inside 50, looking for Pignataro, but again it's Chris Anarchis. Hasn't he been fantastic? Chipped in for the intercept and takes it at centre half-back. He goes across the ground, mark taken by McNamara, and they're content to slow it down here, Doncaster. McNamara chips the pass, finds Fry, hard up against the boundary line. They're on the half-back flank here, Doncaster. So Fry on the right foot, hoists it high towards half-forward. It's a one-on-one contest. Oh, with the 1 mitt. Sensational mark for the Sharks by Muller. Hasn't he been fantastic? 60 metres out, looks in the Thompson direction, and it carries. Thompson again leading out with those big hands, takes the mark, and he can go back for goal number 5.
And 3 of the players in all that setup of play, Anarchis and Muller and now Thompson, they've all been very good players for the Doncaster Football Club today.
So Nathan Thompson, he's been a larger-than-life character for Doncaster this season. Can go back for goal number 5. He's been one of the reasons why the Sharks have An almost mountainous lead over Mitcham at the present time. He can line up from 45 metres, a deliberate approach. It goes straight over the goal umpire's hat. He's kicked truly, and Doncaster lead it by 31. They move on to 17-15, 117 to Mitcham, 12-14, 86, 25 and a half minutes gone in the final term. Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
I just thought the goal umpire could have put a little bit more interest in that and maybe just wave it a little bit to the left or the right, but he just stood there and it went straight over the top of his head.
Fantastic effort here by the Doncaster Football Club. They stretch their lead to 31 points, but they're not the only side that are doing the job this afternoon. Ben Waterworth has been working feverishly around the grounds this afternoon. Any final results come through, Benjamin?
North Ringwood have beaten Montrose by a point, gentlemen.
Jeffrey.
But unfortunately, Moorabak has defeated Croydon, so Moorabak still get the double chance and North Ringwood still finish third despite their victory this afternoon. Donny East by 5 points over Mulgrave and Bayswater by 9 points over Upper Ferntree Gully. Donvale defeated the Waverley Blues today by 32 points, confirming that the Waverley Blues stay up, Donvale stay up, and Upper Ferntree Gully go down to Division 3 in 2014.
Well, you owe Doncaster East an apology, Ray Baird, with your certainty going down this week, but Nathan Thompson's received a free kick about 35 metres out from goal. He'll go back and have a shot for number 6.
And we've had just quickly on Montrose, they've lost 2 games this year and they've both been by a point.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, huge game. Huge result, really. Brad Henderson has been out there today. He's been pumped for a fortnight to head out there, so we look forward to his report at about 5:10 this afternoon on the BGC Bayswater post-match show, hosted by Barry Cotts and the Brash. And here comes Nathan Thompson. He pushes it hard. He makes the goal umpire work, but he's going to salute with the 2 fingers. Don't you worry about that. 6 goals to Nathan Thompson, and Doncaster are running away with this game.
Yeah, look, no, Doncaster, as this quarter's gone on, they just exerted their authority and they look very good, and they're going to be a power to stop come finals time.
Braden Ingram, thanks to Choose Tap.
That's Nathan Thompson's 56th goal of the year, hasn't it? I think he's only played half the year now. Going to be a crucial component. I'll be interested to find out if he is guaranteed for finals BWS.
Oh, you dare say that the pressure just will be insurmountable for him to play finals, but Ben Waterworth, plenty more scores around the grounds.
Baroni have defeated Templestowe by 63 points, and the Whitehorse Pioneers have beat Heathmont by 69 points.
What?
So Whitehorse will be staying up in 2014.
Surging forward.
And what about this one? East Burwood has defeated Lilydale by 34 points.
In Simon Rourke's last game, as well, as the handball comes out towards the McNamara direction, drives the ball inside forward 50 on the second bye, taking a good mark there is Palakis. He's been okay around the goals today. He's presented quite well, and with the wind at your back, you may as well have a ping, young man, because you've already kicked at 2 goals and one from pretty much an identical position, maybe only 10 metres closer. So he'll come in now, 45 metres out, kicks the ball straight, keeps it straight. It might just scrape him, but the umpire says no, it just hugged the left-hand side of the post. And minor score goes to the Doncaster Football Club. It continue to pile on the scores out here. It's 34 scoring shots to 26. 18-16, 124 plays 12-14, 86.
Fantastic final term for the Doncaster Footy Club. They assert their authority in Division 3 as Johnson brings the ball back into play for the Tigers. Sends it long towards the halfback flank. A big pack forms. Palakis couldn't quite take it. Petrarca fed the ball, but his kick, well, it went askew off the side of the boot. It sums up Mitcham's final term, and it'll be a penalty free kick to Doncaster to be taken, I think, by Dylan Dipier-Domenico. No, Carlson will be taking it for the Sharks.
One of the big differences in this game between the two sides, but I just feel that the 2 big ruckmen that Doncaster have had, they've dominated the game, marking around the ground and the clearances. They've given their mids every opportunity.
Carlson, with the aid of the breeze, sends it long to the top of the square. It falls off to the right. Thompson flew high, couldn't quite hold it. Tort Henderson tries to barge his way through a couple of Tigers. He's unsuccessful. Brought to ground. Be a ball up deep inside Doncaster's attacking half. Let's head to Braden Ingram, thanks to Choose Tap.
Inside 50s in favour of Doncaster, 18-11. Tackles 7-6 in favour of Mitcham. Hit-outs 14-7 in favour of Doncaster. And the marks inside 50. Doncaster 6 to Mitcham's 3.
Sia Cavellis took the mark after Whitnish hacked it out of the Mitcham defence. Sia Cavellis towards centre half forward, flying high. It was almost Mark Fry at the fore of the ball. Judged
here he goes.
Gave it to Shemelbush. Can kick a rare goal from 60 metres. It set sail towards goal. It was touched on the line. Oh, so close for Doncaster and Shemelbush. And a minor score. So Doncaster move on. 18-17, 125. Mitcham 12-14, 86 late in this final term.
And they're having another kick out, boys, because the goal umpire hadn't finished throwing his flags.
No, we're haven't changed our rules like the AFL, so the flags must be waved as Johnson. His kick is okay. Mark's been taken there by Searle. Just coughs it up to Todd Henderson, who bangs it on his boot and goes, don't give it to me because I'll make you pay for it. Straight over the goal umpire's head, kicking Doncaster's 18th goal for the afternoon. In fact, make that 19. They are really piling it on now. What a game we've seen today. 19 goals, 17, 131 takes on 12, 14, 86.
And the big Nathan Thompson leaving the ground, boys, in front of us down here.
Yeah, and a well-earned rest too. But Ben Waterworth, surely there's been some more scores come through across the league.
Yeah, Warrandyte 19-17, 131 have defeated
did it.
Glen Waverley 15-12.
Doesn't matter though.
It doesn't matter. Thank you, BWS. Corrected yourself because the White Horse Pioneers have defeated Heathmont quite convincingly in the end. And Baldwin 12-16, 88 have defeated Scoresby 7-14, 56. And just on South Belgrave and Coldstream, South Belgrave's final score in the end, South Belgrave 36 goals, 20, 236 have defeated Coldstream 9-6-60, a 176-point win.
Siren goes out here at Walker Park, and what a game it was. It was first versus third, and the Mitcham Football Club have gone down to Doncaster in an emphatic victory by the Sharks too, running away with this game late on in the piece. I know, Braden Ingram, you're pointing at certain things because there's another kick on goal, and it's not going to make the distance because it's 60 metres out. So we're wrapping things up here right now.
Boys.
Well, very quick on the mark is Andrew Tranquilli with Paul Semasides, and it was a great effort by the Doncaster Sharks today and a great second half especially.
Yeah, thanks fellas. Look, we really set ourselves out for this game. I'm not sure